Yes, indeed. We are live and ready to go.
Welcome to SNN WAR, where we take anime that we all watch throughout the week and review it and let you know what our picks of the best anime episodes of the week are. Now, in our first episode, what we're going to do today is we're going to go over our top 10 anime that we've watched for 2023. What we got with us today is Deontay the Giant,
Yes, sir.
Mike,
Nice to meet you all.
and Emperor Will be joining us later on. I'm Kenpachi, and welcome to War.
Absolutely. Do we need to roll the OG theme song?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll that.
All right.
Is the best thing what? Exactly.
Yes, sir. We are back, and Will is on his way. So he'll be popping in just shortly. I am sharing this to the group so people from the group can watch this, and then we should have the ball rolling.
Absolutely.
SNN War, episode 1. Let's see. It snuck up on me a little bit.
It did. It did.
There we go. Let's see. Episode 1. All right, cool. I'm good to go. So we can start off with your list, or start with your 10 or 1.
Let's start at 10. And we'll go ahead and I'll read mine off. Number 10, what I picked was Hell's Paradise. Mappa really did a great job with the animation in it. The story's just getting started. We're learning the characters, but it's a real interesting concept. Like, people are all going to die, but fight for this and maybe you'll live. It's completely insane what's going on the islands they go to. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching that whole series, the whole first season of that.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the island that they're going to. Dang, it's a lot of things that I don't remember, but I do remember, like, damn, I forgot the characters' names too. So shit. So it's one guy with white hair, main character, and then he's got
Gabi
like this
Maru.
Gabi Maru, and then there's the girl that his executioner that follows him around and has to keep an eye on him and whatnot.
Giri.
Is it Gary?
The Giri.
Oh, Sugiri. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, man. It's been a little bit too long since I've seen that show. It's the series or season 1 ended back in May. It
Yeah, it was
had
back
to
a few
be.
months ago.
Yeah,
I
a couple.
man, I smoked way too much pot to remember what month that ended in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What?
I said I smoked way too much pot to remember what month that ended in. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
on me.
it's I understand because yeah, a couple months to people like us is probably like 5,000 years. So.
It feels like it sometimes.
Yeah, it's like a long forgotten memory since then.
I agree with Kenpachi. It was such a good show to come out, especially with the last of the three of the dark mangas coming out. Chainsaw Man, JJK, and then Hell's Paradise was just another topping on the cake. It's just as good as the other two, and
Yeah, they
I
get
can't wait
super
until
violent.
season 2 comes out. I like my dark animes. Those three are like perfect at the moment.
You have to see some bodies drop on the show for sure. Nobody's safe.
I wouldn't say like I'm like, oh, I love everything to be gory, but it's really cool when they find interesting ways to slaughter people. And Hell's Paradise really excelled in that. From having flowers pop out all over your body, like out of your eyeball and shit, to like just slicing people into pieces with them. Like they go to stick their hands out and all of a sudden their arms are cut in 10 pieces. It's like, wow. And it, like I said, it wasn't super, I mean, it was bloody, obviously, but it wasn't like over the top gory. It was, yeah, dark is the perfect word for it.
Yeah.
It was gory, but it was true to a story, so it wasn't gore for gore's sake.
Right, that's it. It wasn't overly gory. It was gore to the fact of this is what would happen if these things were going on. So, all right, so that was my number 10. Let's go on. Deontay, Mike, who wants to go next?
You want to go, Mike?
I'll go with Demon Slayer. The
Nice.
pinnacle of animation.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. Just can't fault it. Everything looked gorgeous. Apart from the CGI fish monsters, they looked a bit weird.
Absolutely.
I was actually going to bring that up because it was my one critique on the whole season was those fish. And I was just like, man, out of everything else was so good. And you got this.
Bog-eyed fish just staring at you.
Yeah. It's like they're
One
getting
eye's
ready to
going to the
jump
left,
out
the other eye's going to the right.
It's like lazy-eyed fish.
What is that Pokemon that when you get enough of them goes into Gyarados?
Oh, Magikarp.
Magikarp.
Magikarp. That's what they reminded me of. They were like the blue CG Magikarp from Pokemon. I'm like, with legs. I'm like, what are you doing here? Go away.
It's like going around eating people and whatnot. It's like, wait a minute. I don't even think they have teeth. Like, how are they eating people? Well, I guess they're demon fish, so that I guess they're a little bit deformed and whatnot, and chowing down.
Right. You would think some of them swordsmith guys somebody might be strong enough to maybe like fight. But now they all just lay down and died.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, you want to take a bite out of me? Go right ahead.
Man.
But yeah, Swordsmith Village is definitely one of my favorite arcs from the manga. Swordsmith Village, you got to see the Love Hashira in action, the Mist Hashira, all their different breathing techniques. Yeah.
Mitari's hot spring scene.
Oh.
Glad they kept that in.
Whew. I thought they were joking. There was a lot of hinting to it about it on the internet. I was like, they're not going to show that in the anime. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Well, I think a lot of Demon Slayer fans may have boycotted the whole season if they didn't get to see Mitari in her glory.
Whew. Lots of glory. Looks like Emperor Will's about to hop in shortly. But while we're waiting on him, real fast, I'll go on to my number 10. My number 10 is The Rising of Shield Hero, and that is season 3 to be specifically. This was a great comeback and redemption for season 2 because I hated season 2, and I kind of got to the point during season 2 where I just let it be background noise while I'm doing other stuff. And me watching sub and not looking at the subtitles, that kind of says a lot. It's just like I just don't care what any of the characters have to say right now. Stuff got a little bit weird. And then season 3 kind of just ran laps around season 2. It's so much better. Being able to understand the plot a little bit better. You get to go back to what made you fall in love with the series in season 1. Like you get to see now for me being a little bit more wholesome than usual, but then you see him being untrusting, being his usual self, and they've done a great job sticking to his personality in his relationships with Philo and Raphtalia. They introduced another big bad for this season, which is the Phoenix. And just like for season 2, they had like the Spirit Tortoise, I believe they called it, or the Earth Tortoise, something like that. And they had to kill that originally, and this villain named Cairo, I think. Kyo or Cairo. And then this season, we haven't really. Well, I guess if you would claim anything, maybe the character that they call Bitch. I can't remember her real name, but she's kind of like the big bad of this season, almost outside of the Phoenix that the 4 heroes going to have to face eventually. And the story is told so much better now, and I really appreciate the studios like owning up to their mistake and cleaning up behind it.
I'm glad you said that because I haven't watched Rise of the Shield Hero Season 3 because 2 just bored me, so I may actually give her a watch with what you've just said.
Yeah,
as you said, it was background noise for me. I wasn't interested.
I was like, dude, why is this so dull?
I think that there's something you both might have missed in like the last 2 episodes because they really gave Raphtalia a power boost right at the end with some of the sword arts that she learned in that other world. It was the only interesting thing in season 2. I'll tell you why season 3 is better than season 2 was, is because you know that I don't give a fuck attitude that Ifumi had in the first season, where like, he named old girl Bitch. Okay, the queen's daughter can no longer be referred to as it's Melly or Mary or something like that. You have to call her Bitch. That's her legal name now. Like in that world, that's how you.
Even her own mother has to call her Bitch.
Right, and she's kind of back in it again, but she really is still kind of just background noise. I think the Phoenix is going to be the big bad in it, but I like the story arc that they've done with like the other heroes. How it was, the Shield hero and his group that took care of everything when the turtle was there, and everyone knows that. And the other 3 heroes, they all went and did their thing, and they were not there when that happened. Or if they were, they got waylaid. And that's where this next season is picking up is, what happened to those guys. And he's trying to put them back together because I think it was actually in season 1 when they met the Master Philo, the Philo Queen.
The Philolio Queen.
Yeah, the Philolio Queen. And she told them that the heroes have to work together to beat these things, or else it spells doom for the kingdom.
She's like, yeah.
She's going to have to come and kill them.
She's like, I will kill all 4 of you.
Right. So, he's got to go get them back together and get them ready to take care of the Phoenix, or else, he knows what the end result is of them not taking care of their duty.
Facts.
And I think the best thing is that he has a level of petty that I know I'm not saying it right. Ifumi is something like that though. But he has a level of petty, and when he named her Bitch, that you see come through. just some things happen in the village. Like, I don't know if y'all picked up on it, but he has a whole like kingdom now. He's like a count over a lord over a portion of the kingdom.
Yeah.
So he has an area that he's responsible for. Yeah, yeah, you'll enjoy it. It's definitely a lot better than season 2 was. He got back to that level of petty that he needed.
Yeah, I miss that now for me for sure. Like seeing his interaction with the other Cardinal heroes is hilarious. Like I know Ren, the sword hero, is kind of like going through some stuff because he went through some tragedies back in season 2 that were kind of off screen and we didn't know about until now. And then Spirit Hero, he kind of had his own tragedy with like losing his crewmates and all the women not being interested in him anymore. So I don't know what happened to the Arrow hero. They haven't really gone into where he's at the moment, but
Nope.
But yeah, Raftalia did get the powers of the katana weapon vassal, I believe. Katana vassal hero from the other worlds, and she kept that power, and she is pretty OP with that sword now.
Yeah. I don't want to go into a lot of it. I don't want to spoil any of it, or as little of it as we can for Mike, because he hasn't watched it yet. But I definitely think that you'll enjoy this season a lot more, man.
Absolutely.
I'll give her a watch, as I said.
So is Will coming back? Do you want to wait on him, or do we go ahead and go to number 9?
We probably just slide to number 9. Will had to restart his laptop, so he should be in a little bit.
All right. My number 9 is another newer one that is only on its 6th or 7th episode. It's called Shangri-La Frontier.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of it, Deontay. Have you heard of it, Mike?
I've heard of it. I haven't started it yet. There's still so many on a list that I still need to get through, but it's definitely on there.
Yeah,
Everyone bringing out too much good anime lately. It's like the best years for anime has been the past few years.
It definitely
for
has.
sure.
I am blessed, but not so much. I'm disabled. So my job is kind of watching anime, is what I've, taken upon myself. I have other things that I do, but I watch about, generally it's between 20 and 30 weekly anime. So
damn.
This season it is 27 that I'm watching a week. Yeah, each week I keep up with. So
I've got rookie numbers. I need to get those numbers up.
Yeah, I need to step my game up too.
Like I said, man, I love anime, and it's what I watch a lot of it while I'm laying here and working on stuff on the computer for Jen's business. My ex-wife is my roommate, and she runs a business, and I take care of her website and do her labels and stuff like that for her, so I can lay in bed and not put stress on my body and watch anime and work on my computer stuff. So,
yeah.
That sounds like the life right there. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
jealous.
lie. I did say it was a little blessed. So, and I've got 2 great kids that they don't like all the anime that I like, but they both have their own interests in things. So, my 14-year-old, I love getting his opinions on stuff. He cracks me up.
Man, yeah. When I met him, he was ready to go in on a couple anime that you and I both haven't watched yet. So he was pretty knowledgeable about his stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I never watched. There's one called Wonder Egg Priority that he really wants me to watch. But he's like, it's a sad anime. And I'm like, and I don't really like anime that makes me cry. I mean, somebody get like bloodied up in it? No. And it's going to make me cry. Man, this does not sound like I got to say. Anime I've been watching. So
He found your kryptonite.
He did, but now I've actually heard it's really good. I'm gonna watch it eventually.
True, true.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go on to it. I'm sorry, I get to rambling. But Shangri-La Frontier, it's an isekai. I mean, yeah, I guess we would have to say it's an isekai. He plays full dive MMO RPG, and his thing, the MC, loves trash video games, and he goes in all his games. He goes by Sunraku, so I don't even remember his real name. I'll just call him Sunraku. But he plays all these other games, and he's been in, like just runs through them. He's a great video game player, top skill. When I say trash video games, I'm talking games that have like glitches and hangups that you'll sit there for hours, and he'll just bang through it, do what he's got to do to get through it and finish the game. And someone challenges him to take on this new game called Shangri-La Frontier, and they refer to it as a god tier game. It's just it is the newest, best thing out. And even he gets into it, and he's like, "Man, like I've been playing for hours, and there's not even a single glitch. This is great, you know."
Right.
Because of the way he does things, he starts unlocking stuff that nobody else has done. He plays a really unique style. I am not going to go into a lot of it. It is an action comedy for sure. I wouldn't say it's like One Piece level of going to be One Piece level of longevity, but like if you think of some of the funniest scenes, how hard you laugh at some of the funniest scenes in One Piece, you will laugh that hard at scenes in this anime. It is really top notch comedy, and the action and animation are right there as well. So it is as far from a dark anime as you can possibly get.
Yeah, I just started Shangri-La a couple days ago, so I made it up to episode 3 so far, and it looks pretty impressive for an isekai. Yeah, Sunraku, he's kind of a beast. Like he's that good at video games that he's actually enjoying himself in his god tier game now, and he's acquiring items that he needs. He's leveling up, taking out bosses and whatnot, and it gives you the essential spirit of the isekai for sure. I think this show does stand out from the rest of them. I think by the time I'm finally caught up to where you're at now and where the season is at, like I probably shouldn't have any complaints about it, because Shield Hero and Shangri-La are like two of my favorite isekai so far, and I don't like that many isekai, so that's high praise.
I've got one isekai that I put above the rest, and that's the slime. Incarnated, there's a slime. That's just too good.
It's so good, man. Great storytelling.
Yeah, can't wait for the next season to come out. I watched the film. I think it was earlier this year.
Did you watch the 3-episode special that just came out?
No.
Uh-oh.
They came out about last week, didn't they?
Yeah,
A week or two ago?
It was 2 weeks ago, I think. It's called Visions of Coleus. It is number 11 on my list. It's the first of my honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a list. I need a list of all these ones I haven't watched yet, so we can catch up and talk about it.
For sure.
Well, actually, they're in the chat. If you want to copy that list that I sent to...
Oh, I'm writing them down as we go right now.
Yeah. He's like, I got some work to do after this stream.
Yeah.
All right, so then...
10 hours straight, hard work, anime watching. That's what I'm doing after this.
Yeah, they were joking in one of the Discord groups the other day about someone's like, yeah, I need to catch up on One Piece, and it's 900 episodes. I didn't even go into the fact that there are 200 episodes behind. It's actually more like 1,100 now. But beyond that, they're like, 900 episodes. How do you even catch up on that? A whole bunch of people chimed in, busting on it, and I was like, 900 episodes? glimpse. I watched that in a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody has that same excuse, man. They're like, I won't watch One Piece because there's too many episodes, even though Naruto Shippuden wasn't that far behind. If you count the whole Naruto series all together, you're pretty damn close to One Piece. And then Dragon Ball series too is up that pretty high in numbers too.
No, for sure.
The only problem with Naruto, it's like, was it 52% filler or something like silly like that?
Shippuden got kind of outrageous with fillers for a little bit.
Yeah. And Boruto. Let's not even talk about that 80% filler rate. They don't even call it filler no more. It's anime only episodes.
Jesus
However,
Christ.
Boruto manga is fire. That is,
oh my god.
the manga is so good.
Two Blue Vortex?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They went crazy with that. Shout out to Kishimoto for that.
For sure.
Do you think Minato's back teaching them flying Raijin?
He might be.
I don't think like Minato himself is back, but I have this feeling that we don't know everything there is to know about. I mean, this is spoilers for anybody who hasn't read the newest episode or read the newest issue of the manga. Have you not read it?
I've read it. So good.
Okay. Kashin Koji. We don't know everything there is to know about Kashin Koji yet. We know he's a clone of Jiraiya, but he also has like scientific ninja tools that Amado put in him and stuff. Like, we don't know what all he's capable of. So what has he been teaching Naruto? Obviously, either Sasuke or Kashin Koji taught him the flying Raijin, is what I figure.
I've got a theory. Kashin Koji being a clone could have the same memories as Jiraiya, and Jiraiya may have known how to do flying Raijin, but couldn't pull her off because he saw Minato do it so many times. It's like some people can play football, some people teach football. Just because they're not as good, they can still teach someone to be that good. So Kashin Koji might know the technique, just can't use it.
That's actually a very good point, because we don't know what Jiraiya's or Kashin Koji's level of release and like his lightning release, like how adept he is at that. And since that is what I believe the element of flying Raijin uses is lightning. So
I don't think it's an elemental release. I think it's just it'll be a yin yang, because it'll be using your imagination to make a physical transportation somewhere else. It wouldn't be a lightning, it'd just be yin and yang. Kind of like Izanagi and Izanami.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, yeah. I thought that for some reason, I thought that there was, like, I thought that's why they used the name Thunder God with it, is because it used lightning.
Like lightning ninjutsu.
Right, but that doesn't mean anything. They can say whatever it is, whatever they want to do.
Well,
yeah.
You've all remember Minato's combo for Sasuke and Naruto, Scorch Release, Flaming, whatever he said it was called.
Man.
He likes his long names.
He does. Sasuke's attack move pool, as far as attacks go, is incredible. I love them. They have crazy names, and what they do is even crazier. So that's I'm not really a Sasuke fan, but I love his move pool.
Oh yeah, Amaterasu and Kagasuchi, so good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So next, number 9 is on you, Mike.
okay, so this one I've put on the list. It's not really an anime, but it is. It's Netflix. Record of Ragnarok. I thought the fights in there was so good. Jack the Ripper versus Hercules was such a good fight.
Oh man, Will's gonna be mad he missed that. That's like one of his favorite animes of all time.
It's just the fight scenes are just it just goes so hard, and some of them, and then the backstories that it gives you of the characters as well. I know some of it is not real, if you know what I mean. They over exaggerate the history, but they're basing them on actual real people, which is such an awesome idea.
Yeah, it's so it's like the fun, healthy part of it because you're learning just a little bit with each character.
Should teach her in schools, history lessons.
That's what matters, man. Like that's what we should be learning, not calculus in 4th grade.
No, we shouldn't be learning the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. We don't need that.
Nah. If you want to be a scientist when you grow up, that's for you. The rest of us, we just want to know stuff that we can apply or at least be interested in.
Exactly.
They need to be teaching kids how to clean the house, how to wash dishes, how to run a budget.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff, because that's the kind of shit that you got to do in real life. You know, how do you change the oil on your car? Because you may not have a dad or a mom that knows how to do that, but that's a skill that if you know how to do, will save you thousands of dollars in your life. You know?
Yeah.
Things like that. That's the kind of stuff that they should be teaching in school. Things that
how to do taxes.
Yes, there you go. How to do taxes.
How to understand politics.
Oh, don't need to know that. Both sides of shit.
Yep.
Yeah, understanding politics. Everybody is shit because everybody wants it to be the best it can be for them.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever's best for them is what they're going to vote for.
They'll lie, cheat, and steal and get whatever they can get their hands on.
Yep.
Basically, you vote for the one that'll fuck you less.
That is exactly the truth.
Yeah.
And here recently, there's only been one side that isn't trying to shut down and disable stuff. There's only one side that's not actively trying to shut down the programs that may allow me and my children to survive. So I kind of got to go with them at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's like you're gonna pick on people, and you're gonna find the right one, and you're gonna, as the meme says, fuck around and find out.
Yep. But this is not a show about politics.
True that.
So, yeah, I love Record of Ragnarok. And I'm just going to hit on this for a second. Netflix has been hitting with all the anime they've come out with. Like, there was Pluto and that Goodbye World. All of, like, a lot of the anime, they're getting ready to bring out. I just saw they're going to have 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, the new 7 Deadly Sins. They're going to have that coming out on Netflix too.
Oh, don't say 7 Deadly Sins. I just go back to that animation of Escanor and Meliodas fighting, and it's just still frames over and over.
It was, the first season was good, and then the second season was like, 3 episodes or some shit? But those two were very well animated. Everything after that was really bad. And that movie they came out with, Grudge of Edinburgh, oh my gosh. Like, ooh, I wanted to vomit. It hurt my eyes to watch any part of that. It was painful.
How overconfident you have to be to release something like that to the world.
Right. And especially, like, didn't they come out with this 4 Nights of the Apocalypse? I'm going to tell you, the animation is awesome. Like, I'm not going to say it's like MAPPA or Ufotable animation, but it is so not what the end of 7 Deadly Sins was. It's so much different.
Yeah.
Percival is, without a doubt, one of the cutest MCs that I've ever seen in an action anime. Like, it's action comedy, and man, it's just awesome. I love it. So
yeah, seven Deadly Sins. I mentally checked out on that around season 3 or 4. I forgot how long the season is, but yeah, I just checked out and I haven't been back since.
3 and 4 were, I think that's all there was 3 and 4, and they were horrible. And I didn't like any of the crap with King Arthur at the end and all the chaos bullshit. I thought that was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't tell him how to write. I mean, apparently the manga was great the way it told the story, but when they brought it to the anime, it just didn't flow well. The animation was definitely not up to par.
Mhm.
So, I like I said, thankfully, I think that the Four Knights of the Apocalypse is going to bring him back.
Is that supposed to be like a 5th season, or is that just a movie or something?
It's a sequel.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it is completely in the same world. During what's going on with them, Meliodas and Elizabeth are ruling Leonis, the kingdom. Like how it ended up at the end of it. Did you read what went on? Anything about the Grudge of Edinburgh? No. That was about Tristan, who is Meliodas and Elizabeth's son. They have a son, and that movie was about him. And he is supposed to show up sometime in Four Knights of the Apocalypse, as well as we'll see Meliodas at some point too. They've already talked about Merlin. Was the one that King Arthur is the bad guy, and the chaos took over his mind, and he's trying to infect the world with chaos. So just get that out of the way real quick. Merlin is blamed, like she's thought of as she was a hero of the 7 deadly sins, but she's also the one that caused the chaos to infect Merlin that then, caused all these problems. And now Camelot, he's got his own holy knights, and they're like a group of evil holy knights, and they're trying to take over things. So, and one of the other holy knights, and I don't remember, I keep forgetting his name, but it was the grandfather of Percival. Ironside is the grandfather's son, so Percival's father, and he is one of those holy knights. So obviously he comes from a family of holy knights, but he's got some different kind of power. So you'll just have to watch. But like I said, it's absolutely worth giving a shot. If you like 7 Deadly Sins, first season, second season, give it a shot. So, what's your number 9, Deontay?
My number 9 is, hold on, let me see, off the top of my head, I just saw it too. I think it's To Your Eternity season 2.
Yeah.
So there's another anime that'll make people cry if you watch it, because season 1 was nonstop heartbreak after another, and it's like, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with the person that wrote this story? Like, it's nothing but emotional damage when you watch that series, but it's such good storytelling.
It was like it was written by George R.R. Martin, right?
Pretty much. But even more depressing than George.
Yeah, man, it was. That's one of the only anime I cried during. Like it absolutely pulled the tears for me.
Yeah, because it's just like every episode you get to not every episode, but like every arc you get to know another main character, and it's just like, oh shit, are they gonna have to die too? And this, like, oh god, you get to know them so well, and you love them, you resonate with them, connect with them, and then you just get them snatched out of your heart, just like that.
Absolutely. So
it's so abusive.
You've watched all of season 2, right?
I have not, unfortunately. So I kind of lied on my number 9, but I will be starting it shortly. Yeah.
All right. So season 2, did you watch any of it, Mike?
I have not. No.
All right. Well, then I'm just going to briefly touch on it and kind of hit on like how emotionally damaging this gets at some point. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Do I need a
before
therapist after I watch this?
you might, but you'll be happy that you watched it. The animation is amazing and the story is awesome. It really drags you in. He starts out as an orb that was sent down by God to absorb things, and it quickly evolves into him being a wolf, then into this kid, and he takes the form of the things that at first it's things that he experiences, but then it's the things that died around him. He takes their form, and that's why he became the wolf that died. Then this kid died, he became the kid that died. And as he meets people and they die, he takes the form, the big bear, the little girl. He keeps going on, and he absorbs all these memories of these people. Well, then he's fighting these things called the knockers. The knockers steal these memories from him, and they steal them and they take them away so that he no longer has them anymore. With these memories, he can transform into all these other things that he's seen die. The wolf, the giant bear. He meets this guy that can blow fire out of his mouth. He wears a mask all the time. He can blow fire out of his mouth. He can turn into these people. Well, then when the knockers hit him with something, they steal one of them and they become that, like a vestige of that. And then he doesn't remember them anymore. And they steal not only this way that he transforms into them, but all the memories along with it. And then later on, he learns in season 2 that he can bring these people back. Like he can run cords down, and he starts building buildings, so he's connected to the area around him, and he can start bringing people back and control them as long as they're in the area. Well, then, goodness, I'm going to forget his name. Ken. Then, oh man, what was his name?
The main character?
No, it was a new guy that came in, and he's got like this purple. He's like really flamboyant. He got this purple outfit, and he becomes one of. Gosh, the main character. I can't even remember his name right now. That's how bad I'm having it.
He's a season 2 character?
Yeah, this new guy is.
Mm-hmm.
And Ken is what he goes by. The new guy does. So Ken says, well, here, what about if we do this? And he cuts the vine to the person that he made. And then that person has their own mind. And basically, he reincarnates them. And he figures out, now if he makes another one, that one just falls to pieces like they're a plant. So he can't make like an army of one person. But he has these 3 guys that they're warriors, and they all decide that they're going to fight for them, and that when they die, they want him to bring them back as immortal warriors to fight for him. So that's what he does. Is that Fushi? That's his name.
Fushi, yeah.
Fushi starts bringing these guys back, like, and as soon as they get hit by the knockers and get knocked out again, they're just a vestige of them that he takes, so he can make a new one, and they go out and fight. The one guy, whenever he would get into a spot that he couldn't get away, he'd shoot himself, so that then Fushi could make him again. It was really. It's really kind of weird, but then like other things happen, and he loses some of the memories. So when you see that he can bring them back, and then you're like, now, but then he lost those memories, and he could have brought all these friends back and just have them anymore. But the way it happens, like, man, the story is just drags you on and on. It's like you see your heart and someone is like has a string wrapped around it and they're dragging it through broken glass, and every once in a while they're stepping on it, and you're like, man, it's my heart, it hurts.
It's an abusive relationship, man.
Right, right. It's definitely like being in a relationship with somebody that's mentally unstable. We've all been there.
Oh
like
man. At least once in your lifetime you gotta experience that. But yeah, as far as number 8 goes, what you got, Kenpachi?
Ooh, yeah, number 8. What I mentioned a minute ago, Pluto. That was an 8-episode series. It's an hour-long episode that was dropped on Netflix, and it is a retelling of an arc of Astro Boy, the greatest robot in the world, or world's strongest robot, or something like that, and is the arc. And it turns what is, Astro Boy always seemed kind of like a happy, kid-friendly anime, right? And this turns it into a very dark murder mystery anime, like really dark and very like these robots are so humanized in this, and you feel their backstory. It's got a really, really good cast in it as well. Like a couple of people are famous actors. I watched the English version of it because, I like watching English versions sometimes. Especially, it had Adrian Pascar. I don't know if anybody watched Heroes, but the Heroes, the Petrelli brothers.
Oh, yeah.
There was Peter Petrelli, and then there was
Nathan.
Brother, Nathan. The guy that played Nathan voiced was one of the robots in it. So, but like I said, it is really it's sad, but then man, there's a twist at the end of it, and I'll ask you guys: do you want me to go into it, or do you want me to save it for you to watch it?
I will watch it.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting to it this weekend. I'm going to finish Shangri-La and To Your Eternity, and then it's probably, if I can get that done by Saturday, I can make it to Pluto.
Awesome. Well, then I won't go into it anymore. All I want to tell you is that when I say they definitely humanize these robots in a way that at the beginning of it, you're going to be like, oh man, I see what he means. And then at the end of it, you're going to be like, holy fuck, I had no idea that's where this was going. I'm just going to tell you, it really, it throws you for a loop. And I 100%, it's, to me, it's sad that I know it's not going to keep going on. And even if they went on with the same portrayal of Astro Boy, the show would not be the same in its overtones, because I don't think there's anything else like that in the story arc for Astro Boy. But very, very emotionally driven, dark, heavy anime. So highly suggest anyone that has not given it a shot. You got 8 hours there, but you will be happy you spent those 8 hours watching it.
Absolutely.
Mike, I'll turn it over to you for your number 8, sir.
I'm going to go with Marshall, Magic and Muscles. It's just hilarious. It's One Punch Man meets Hogwarts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It some of the things that he does is just hilarious. Like, he's the MC is a guy who goes to a wizard school, but he's got no magic. But he's basically super strong, like silly. What is it? He broom training. Instead of making it fly with magic, he throws the broomstick and runs and jumps on top of the broomstick and then flies that way.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Asta a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit like that. but the jokes just hit all the time, and it's hilarious. Just some of the things they use as his muscles to do when everyone else is using magic to do it.
Yeah. That
And
sounds
they
very
really
interesting.
the One Punch Man, like, he's just oblivious that, you mean, like, everybody's not just as strong, like, you know, like how Saitama is just like, what? Like, he didn't get it, you know, like, what do you mean
Right.
I'm strong, you know? That's kind of how Marshall is. It was really good.
Yeah,
And
Will saying he's having trouble hearing you, Kenpachi. He said your volume down, I think.
I don't know if I can turn that up. It's on my phone. Let's see if I can do it.
Yeah, I think me and Mike can hear you just fine.
Yeah, no problem. My side.
Uh-oh.
Bye-bye.
Dropped them out.
And then there was two.
Then there was two. So Marshall Muscles and Magic is what it's called.
Magic and Muscles. Yeah.
Magic and Muscles. I have to add that to the list too. Kenpachi's given me so many homework assignments up until this point that I might not ever make it to it.
I agree with you there. What's that, about 40, 50 hours I've got to watch so far?
Yeah. It's like, Jesus, I just need to quit my job and I need to quit going to school so I can just watch all of this and be able to keep up.
I see no problem with that.
That's peak freedom.
Or we could do a Dexter's Laboratory kind of stint. Watch it while we're asleep and then just say on le du fromage for the rest of our lives.
Man, I would love to be able to do that. Let's see. So my number 8, kind of wish Kenpachi and Will were in here to discuss this as well, but my number 8, well, I'll probably give them a chance to come back around and talk about this one because this is a pretty huge deal as far as 2023 goes, and that is the Attack on Titan finale this time.
Finale? Where's
Yeah.
part 3?
It was like part 3, part 2. It was like,
Yeah.
it was like, oh Jesus! And it was about an hour and some change long, kind of a movie almost. And we pretty much got to see the conclusion. Are you caught up on Attack on Titan?
Watch this. Waited up for it to come out to watch.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. A lot of people complained about it. I've heard a couple complaints, and I understood where they're coming from, but the rest of them kind of a little bit too harsh on the author himself, and it's just like, let that man have his vision. I had no problems with the finale and the way it ended.
See, I read the manga, so I had the problem with the ending of the manga, but they did change 3 or 4 scenes that kind of made it a lot better than the manga's ending. But there's still a few little tidbits that I have a problem with.
Yeah.
That I feel like it's more plot holes that I saw than bad storytelling.
Yeah, I would call it. I would. If it was anything I could complain about, it would probably be the plot holes.
So
seeing that ending was crazy.
Hey guys,
hey, he's back.
I'm back.
He's back.
Is that better? Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there we go. Yeah.
Problem solved. Yeah, we made it to my number 8, and we're covering Attack on Titan, the finale. So we just been going over that a little bit. Hajime Isayama, the author of the series, got into some trouble over how the manga ended, and I kind of understand and I see that because of the plot holes. My biggest complaint about the entire series and how it ended as a whole. Being able to see a dude go to the tree where all the Titan powers came from in the very, very beginning is kind of like, oh man, is this like an infinite loop?
That's not where it all started, though. That's Aaron's grave. That's where the tree grew. It was Aaron's grave. It's not where Ymir first found the tree. So the whole theory is that maybe a part of that insect was still in Aaron, so it's just taking that long to grow back, and then the cycle will begin again.
And it's just like,
I was thinking that somebody was going to go into that tree where it showed somebody going into that tree where the hole was, and I'm thinking they go in there and find, they're looking for something, they dig it up and find his body down there, and it was always spinal fluid, some part of their body. What if they used some part of his body for something, and that's how somebody else gets infected?
Yeah.
I think it'll just be the same situation with Ymir. I think as soon as he goes in, he'll see that big worm, and it'll just attach to him. And then it's just to say that the cycle will forever repeat. It's a loop, like the whole Attack on Titan is just a loop on a loop on a loop. So everything just repeats.
Yeah, it's like Attack on Titan is just one big paradox. It's like the next Eren that's going to be the founding Titan is going to have to choose between another rumbling to cleanse the world of all evil or find a different solution.
Here's the thing that I don't know, and I was trying to point this out to Will in the group the other day. So a couple things. One is that the whole idea that Eren speaks about at first is that he thought that he was going to cause this great problem, like the rumbling, and destroy a lot of people, kill a lot of people, and that would cause everyone to rely on each other, so they would all come together, and it would bring about a peaceful world. Because if you saw at the end there, the Eldians and the Marlians were starting to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they were up on the mesa there, plateau. Then the whole thing with them turning into Titans and the whole flash forward in the future, I don't understand that. That would have been a good place to have left it. But then if you watch when he's talking to Armin while they're in the ocean, they're like, they got the water coming up over their legs. He's like, "Oh, I'm stupid. I was given power and I'm just a dummy." And then Armin's like, "Well, if you wanted it to turn out different, why didn't you change something?" And he's like, "I tried many times. I could not change any outcome." There was nothing Eren could do. He can say Eren and Armin are going to hell. He can say they're bad people. But Eren very specifically says that anything that I tried to do, I couldn't change any of the outcomes. This was all set, and this was the way it was going to happen.
I think that's a symbolism to say that even though he's trying to be free, he was always trapped. No matter what he did, he couldn't actually gain freedom, and that was his whole thing. And
right.
We are all just a slave to time, and that's even Eren couldn't stop being a slave to time. You could never be free of it. But the plot holes that got me mostly was how did Eren turn into a colossal Titan after Zeke had been killed, because he no longer had the founding Titan power because the rumbling stopped. It's like his head had been decapitated. It was in the middle of a hole. Armin walks out, and then somehow Eren becomes a colossal Titan. I don't understand how that happened. Because, what was it? Reiner is battling the big, I don't want to say it, penis-looking thing.
Yeah.
He's just wrestling it. So I don't know how Eren became a colossal Titan. I can't see anywhere in the story how it would happen. He's no longer got the insect in him. He's just a head. Zeke's dead.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be able to activate the Founding Titan power to become a Colossal.
It wouldn't. I don't necessarily think it would have been the Founding Titan power. It would have been the War Titan power, because he can
The
build any
Warhammer
body he
Titan.
wants.
The Warhammer Titan is just armor. So he wouldn't have been able to get as big as Armin was, because it was a Colossal Titan versus a Colossal Titan. So
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I think I can't explain it away. I mean, yeah, but it's just they wanted to give them two to have. They wanted them two to have a fairly even fight. Although I don't think that Armin was. I think if I remember looking, Armin was just barely. His Colossal Titan was one of the smaller Colossal Titans. As far as size went, like Berthold was 5 or 6 times the size of him. Like Berthold's thing was his size when he was the Colossal Titan. Armin's thing was the nuclear bomb that went off when he transformed into it. So, just like the Jaw Titans, they all look completely different. But Falco, as a Jaw Titan, could grow feathers and fly.
That's because of Zeke.
Yeah, Zeke's
spinal fluid he had in him was the Beast Titan, so it turned him to a Beast Jaw Titan, which meant he could fly.
I mean, I'm totally down with that. That's cool. But I'm just saying that it shows that there are differences in the way the Titans transform. So I don't think Armin was anywhere near the size of many of the other Colossal Titans. I know that the one thing that I saw, like Berthold was 5 or 6 times him. I want to say, I think they were doing it in meters, and I want to say that Aaron's Attack Titan was like 15 meters, and Armin's Colossal Titan was like 20 meters, whereas Berthold was like 100 or 120 meters.
Yeah, Berthold was massive.
Massive. Like so much bigger than Armin was. But Armin had that explosive power, you know?
Yeah, those guys were struggling on that on Aaron's spine, trying to get through all of those different generations of Titans, and this is like, God, I felt so bad for them.
Man, but that was awesome when Armin turned all them others like, hey, you guys go help them out, and all the other Titans started turning around, and we got to see like this badass Titan on Titan battle. Like that was one of the best scenes in it. Was all the Titans just start fighting each other and waylaying.
Yeah, they were going crazy, and even Reiner was up there getting down. He was taking on 2 or 3 at a time, jumping past a couple of them, and they had to strategize with one another. Levi's going all out. And,
who was your MVP of the episode?
I'll let you say first.
I'll probably say Mikasa. She was the one that saved Armin from that little cow creature that
was that needed? Shoving its tongue down Armin's throat. That was like, oh come on, that poor guy.
It was so gross, and there's beans now.
French kiss by an what was it? Akapu? French kiss by an Akapu.
French kiss? That was tentacle porn, dog.
Yeah, it was.
I've seen tentacle porn, and that was tentacle porn. Okay.
There's a meme right now that says like Armin is the new throat goblin because it was all in his throat. I was like, Jesus Christ, leave Armin alone.
Yeah, they shouldn't do my boy like that.
They got him free, and he decided to just go off and finish what everybody started. And I was like, yeah. So technically, you could say Armin was the MVP of the whole episode, but they wouldn't have rescued Armin if it wasn't for Levi and Mikasa's strategy. So
Levi getting the Kenny treatment scene where he's going through the alleyway, but this time going down Erin's back. That scene just flowed, just so smooth, amazing.
Which, by the way, as far as my MVP goes, I think as far as like the what they did while they were out there, Armin should get the MVP. But my MVP is Levi. Why? Because it's always Levi. Is there even anybody else in this anime to watch?
Maybe Hanj, but rest her soul. She long gone now. But
my MVP, Peak. When she went, did you think the Car Titan couldn't fight? I've got stamina. I can keep on turning. And she just rips out everyone. I did a TikTok and it's that scene. And at the very end, it's Captain America where he goes, I could do this all day. Because she could do that all day. She could.
She sure can. She was killing herself and rebirthing all over again. I was like, Jesus. She was not giving up without going down swinging.
And she's waifu material as well.
Absolutely. That is the Bay of the series. And what? Not Historia, but Ymir. Yeah, the memes about her now are hilarious too, because it's just like there's a meme that came out recently where her like thicker than she actually is, and it's just like now we see why the king did everything he did. It's just like, I mean, Ymir is kind of hot, so
yeah, I wouldn't be playing away if I had it.
You know what? I'd marry her too. But yeah, that's my number 8.
Who's next?
All right, well, I guess you did Mike's number 8 while I was getting back, so it goes to my number 7. My number 7 is Blades of the Guardian. It is a Chinese anime, actually, and all I can say is that it is some of the most insane fights that you'll ever watch. Like, it's very artsy in its style sometimes. Like, it's just like sketches on the screen at times. You know, it goes to like a very minimalistic style, and then goes through a couple of scenes and goes back into the actual animation. But the animation is really high quality. On top of the like I said, it's really neat the way it flows into the artsy style. The main character, Dao Man, I guess his name is. He walks into this bar and he's got this kid, Zishi, with him, and I'm going to tell you, I'm really horrible with Chinese names. I'm very sorry. I'll probably say the MC and that kid because I know I'm going to butcher the name, and I apologize. But yeah, he goes in and starts talking to these guys, and we find out that they're like an outlaw gang, and he starts talking about their bounties for them and how, I'll just leave if you, give me double your bounty, and then you just get out of it without money, and I'll walk out of here sad, never saw you. And then the guy, of course, says no, and he tells he's like, count to 11, and you're like, there's like 12, 13 guys around him, and he's like, count to 11, and he rolls out this like burlap like thing, and it's got like 10 swords in it, and he just wow, man, I can't move like that, I can't draw animation like that, but it is very on point. Definitely worth a watch.
What is this called again?
Blades of the Guardian.
Blades of the Guardian.
Yeah, I feel like the story may have gotten a touch convoluted towards the end. It centers on somebody, and I felt like man, they didn't just kill this guy and move on, and it didn't work out that way. But this was also, I believe, based on history. So it's like historical anime, historical drama, action. Yeah, little comedy.
You gotta have a little bit of that in there.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those. It was real small. I doubt anybody's watched it, but highly recommend if you like a good fight scene, give it a watch. It's got some of the best of the season in that show. So.
Absolutely.
Mike?
Is it back to me? Is it?
Yeah. Number 7, sir.
Number 7.
It will have to be My Hero.
Okay.
Dark Vigilante arc.
I get down with that.
Yep.
Dark Deku.
Yeah. Oh, he looked.
Yeah.
Until the mask came off, he looked incredible, and then they take him off, and he's crying again.
Wow, there he goes again with his emos.
Yeah.
He's just a walking emo.
When he was just being a vigilante, walking around in the smoke screen and walking out and just absolutely decimating muscular, just right through him. So
Man.
good.
Yeah, it really was. It was nice. It was fun to see him going hard for a little while. It was rough on him emotionally, being out there by himself the whole time. And I'm glad that they showed some of that. Like you said, when he took his mask off, he was always crying. But he was keeping that mask on when he was doing what he had to do. And he was getting it done. Yep.
But the fight between him and Lady Nagant, that was such a good fight.
It was.
The animation was amazing as well. Just using what was it?
It was a high battle IQ.
Fajin and
Black Whip.
Two of them together. Fajin and it causes what they call overload. But
I'm trying to remember now. Because Gear Shift is not until recently in the manga, so it's not that one.
I think maybe it's not Gear Shift.
No, is it Fajin and Float?
He
Fajin
did
is one where he does it over and over again and builds
stores up
kinetic
energy.
Yeah.
I'm about to Google this real quick.
And he can, he uses it in conjunction with Black Whip by slinging. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm guessing he was doing there. So here it is. It talks about it. He used this quirk for the first time fighting Lady Nagant. Hit her. It just says that he uses it to hit a foe 100% Manchester smash. Later, he uses it with float and air force to fly across the ocean.
That's in the manga. That hasn't been animated yet.
Yeah. Yeah, against the Lady Nagant, it was just Fajin he used. But what they were saying is that because he's so strong, he uses his one for all total control at 20% or something, and then he jumps up and down and uses that, builds up that kinetic energy so that he
to
can
a
hit
false 100%. It's called, or faux 100%.
faux 100%, and then he doesn't take the strain on his body because he only used the 20% close. So
yeah,
that's.
Did you two get super excited when you saw Stars and Stripes at the end of the season?
That was incredible.
I'm like,
Goosebumps going up and down my shoulder. Oh,
I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even know
Man.
until you see this new hero.
Yeah.
And we just get a glimpse of it, but man, I cannot wait.
Yeah, even Stain returns too. We got to see Stain one more time, and God, that was kind of like gave you the chills moment too, where he's just like, if you're not the real All Might, I'm just gonna cut your head off, and he's just like, oh, you are the real All Might, and it leaves a gift behind, and I'm like, holy crap. Stain is still to this day one of my favorite characters of the series.
Man,
he's just got a presence about him, like so intense. That just gives you chills.
He is definitely one of my favorite villains in all of anime for sure. His logic is a little bit more sensible than usual.
Whoa. Don't be throwing the V word around, dog. I don't know that I'm saying the V word, man. Anti-hero, maybe? Like, he only kills heroes who aren't living up to what a hero should be. You can't hate on him for that. They should have been better. Get good, scrub.
He said, get good, man.
He could have just broke the legs. He could have just, crippled them, but I'd say he's a villain by murdering them. He's not giving them a chance to reform. You break a leg will heal, and then better hero.
And then get good. You're alive, so you get another chance at getting good. He takes that away from you completely.
That way, if he comes for you a second time, then yeah, he can kill you. You haven't learned your lesson.
You failed. This is the second chance I gave you, and you blew it.
I was just thinking of a line from Arrow then. Just killing the hero. You have failed this city.
Yeah, that's definitely Oliver Queen's shining moment right there. That phrase can be applied to almost any piece of fiction that you can watch.
Man, I missed Arrow before him and Felicity got together.
Oh man,
It ruined the show. I did
season 1 and season 2, peak TV.
Yes.
Deathstroke, one of the best TV villains.
Oh man,
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
So good. I don't know if you guys watch Gladiator
or Spartacus.
Or Spartacus, that's what it was.
Yeah. Crixus, baby.
Yeah. Oh, that show was great. I mean, I could have done with less dick, but I mean, that first season, man, they were just walking around with them flopping everywhere. I'm like, guy.
It's like, bro, put the penises away.
Look, you got bodies like that. You're already making me feel bad enough. Don't be flopping that shit in my face.
Yeah, like, come on, chill out.
I got a fragile male ego here, okay?
Yeah. You don't have to be that historically accurate. Chill. Right.
Oh, man. So, does anybody have any idea where we're at?
Mike just did his number 7.
That's what it was. So that means it's on to you, Deontay.
My number 7 was Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War, the second core. Honestly think the first core was better, but the second core was just as good. It had some moments where it's just like, okay, these fights are kind of getting a little bit repetitive in sequence, but I love the opening theme. The ending theme was awesome again, and you get to learn a little bit more about the Soul Society than we knew, like from the original arcs from way back in the day that we grew up with. So it was pretty cool, like getting to see. You get to see the Quincy's in action again, and God, these characters are crazy powerful. It's like, why are all of them broken? And then all the court guard captains are just as broken as they are. So it's just a battle between broken characters, one versus the other. And we even get to see Kenpachi fight this core as well. So
Grimmy takes out Grimmy. Yep.
yeah, that was a pretty good fight.
Yeah. You know, he only pulled out his Ikai this time though, and he cut a meteor in half with it.
Jesus. Yeah, the crazy motherfucker hadn't even done his Bankai yet. That's insane.
Not yet.
And he had to kill the original Kenpachi Zaraki just to even get to that strength level.
Another fight that before we talk about Squad Zero, the fight with Ashnot and
Rukia?
that was pretty badass. Yeah, she has definitely stepped her game up. Like, she definitely, showing off that she's a Kuchiki now,
Yeah.
That was nice. And then the battle with her brother against the 3 or 4 people that he took out. I don't even remember their names. It don't matter. They weren't alive for like 30 seconds or something.
It was like, were they important? I guess they're not anymore. Yeah.
I got up and went to the bathroom and they were gone. I didn't even know what happened.
The animation was elite for these past 2 cores of Bleach. The fights were beautifully animated. The waifus, of course. There's the two. There's the two. What they Wandenreich chicks. One was like a little bit older with the long green hair, and she was the aggressive one going after everybody all the time, and she had on the shortest shorts that you could possibly put on a character. And I was just like, oh, fan service, yay!
Yeah, is that the Quincy chick? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Bambietta, or is it Bambietta?
I think it was Bambi. Oh no, Bambi was the black-haired one that.
She's the one that got turned into a zombie.
Yeah, and she was doing some freaky shit with that that zombie Quincy girl that turned people's into zombies. I don't know her name either, but it was a little kinky. It was a little bit kinky between them two.
Yeah, it was a little weird. It definitely got a little weird there.
He was like, take a bite out of my inner thigh. What?
Whoa. At one point, she's like, I need to get that blood back. What? No, thank you.
I don't know.
I don't think I'm going to be able to do that for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. And then the Squad Zero. Yeah.
I was going to say, that, them killing themselves and her doing her Bankai at the end, that wasn't in the manga, was it?
I don't believe so.
No. I can only imagine that they're gonna come back and kill her later on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was like something that I didn't think it was in the manga. Is what I thought. That was badass too. Like, the cloth just come down everywhere, like its own dimension. Man,
they went balls to the wall with those scenes, and seeing the leader of the Quincy's, what is his name?
Yubaha.
Yubaha. Yeah, him using that resurrection technique and then going head up with the commander of the Squad Zero. And I was like, God, he's always getting one over of these boss dudes. And Yubaha and that guy, he was just like, do I have to chastise you again? When they first bump into each other, like, oh, again? Like, how strong is this dude that he's constantly chastising Ubaha? And Ubaha was like, no, I got something for you this time around. I'm winning this time. I was like, God.
I don't believe that fight is completely over yet either. He did cut Yubaha's power in half, and he said, "I'm going to take half your power because I don't want to defeat you with your full power, because then your people will lose faith in you." Say what?
That is next level disrespect.
It is, isn't it?
What is wrong with you, man? Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
man.
Were you able to catch the 1,000-Year Blood War, Mike?
Bleach is one of the animes I haven't even started yet, so it's one of the big three.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I need to. I feel like I'll be binge watching that, and I'll be enjoying everything that people enjoyed 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, there's a lot of fillers that you can avoid, but
I was going to say, there is a list out there of filler episodes, and to be honest, there's a couple of the fillers that are fun to watch, but the majority, or none of them, affect the anime at all. Like, they don't do any, they're not like, and that's something about the Boruto fillers. They affect things that go on in the anime, in the manga, and the anime later on. Like, they are going to reference the relationships and things that happen in the filler episodes later on in the manga, because they're allowing you extra backstory on these people now. Whereas when they did that filler in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, they didn't do that. They were simply filler. Nothing happened that ever progressed story or hinted at relationships that would be in the future. Whereas what's happening in Boruto, those are definitely going to affect what's going on. Like when you watch the way that Kawaki talks about his relationship with the Seven, what went on in the manga, they have barely any relationship for him to be so upset because the Seventh might be dying. But if you watch what went on in the anime, then you see this whole other relationship that's built between these two. The fatherly love that Naruto is giving Kawaki that he's never had from anyone else. Someone who would, instead of allowing him to get hurt and use him as a pawn, pushes him to the back and is like, "I'll protect you, Kawaki. I will take that for you." And he's never had anyone that did that. You never see that in the anime, in the manga, because they don't go through a lot of that.
yeah.
So
And
the filler in Bleach is much the same way as Naruto was. It doesn't progress anything. It doesn't do anything.
So just skip it.
yeah, skip them all.
Now,
I feel like
the Bound episodes was a great story arc. Like, it's a great story arc to watch. But if you're trying to get through the story so you can get to the end, skip it. If you feel like watching it later on, go back and watch it later on. It's a good arc. It goes more in depth into their powers a little bit, and it talks about these people, the Bound, who are basically vampires, but they're like soul vampires, and they have other superpowers, so they're like super vampires.
Yeah.
And they call them Bound.
The story starts off great. It just drags out for so long. Bound is like the longest filler arc too, and it's just like, God, why did they drag it out?
It does feel that way, but they do go through like a lot of build up and like ups and downs throughout it. So I never felt like, for me, I can't lie. The last time I watched through, I had skipped every other filler arc that I watched about time. Especially the 3 modified spirits in it that are in the little dolls. The one girl has got like the dimension power.
Oh,
And-
yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they kill me when they get into the dolls and they're not the people anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit is hilarious. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I said, that arc holds a special place for me. But the rest of them,
Yeah,
Nope.
the only filler arc that actually matters is like there's a very small filler arc at the very tail end of the series where you get to meet all the Zanpakutos in like physical form. Like that's kind of cool, like because that carried on over into Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. You get to see the Zanpakutos again in their physical form. You get to see their real names, their second names, and whatever names that matter. Like that
Right.
actually matters, even though the filler itself is not canon at all. The names are canon, and the physical appearances of those Zanpakuto are canon.
Well,
so yeah,
as I
skip it all
said,
the
I need to
first
get
time.
on that.
For sure.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, skip it all the first time. Then go back and watch the filler arcs. If you get done and you're like, I need more Bleach, then go watch the filler arcs.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're at Kenpachi's number 6 now.
All right. Another one that's still going on, but man, Goblin Slayer season 2. All right.
All
Did
right.
you guys watch Goblin Slayer season 1?
I haven't started it yet.
I haven't started, but I know the infamous scene I need to get past in season 1.
Uh-oh.
Do you know about
Episode
it?
1.
But I tried my absolute best to watch Goblin Slayer, but I just never made it.
So you didn't watch any of it, or you just okay? And you don't know about the infamous scene in the first episode, then, right?
Mm-mm.
Well, all I'm gonna say is
Don't-
that don't tell me.
Don't tell them. Let them be pleasantly surprised.
All right. Well, okay. I won't tell you then, but I will say that Goblin Slayer has some of the best animation that's out. It's beautiful throughout every scene. There is, again, exactly the right amount of blood and gore for it. I mean, you got to figure Goblin Slayer. The dude
Mhm.
fights with a sword and a shield, and so he's cutting the heads off of goblins all the time. They fight other things as well, but his main thing is he wants to kill the goblins. He definitely has a vendetta against the goblins.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
personal
beef.
Right. When it starts out, he's by himself. He just goes out by himself, and he starts picking up party members throughout the first season. And by the end of the season, he's got a 4-man crew that is him. He's got this young female priestess who's the youngest one in the group. I said 4, it's 5-man group. This young priestess. He's got an elven princess archer that's part of the group. They've got a dwarven priest who is he might be a mage. He does a lot of chanting and drinks a lot, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And then I would say that the draconian guy, he's like a dragon dude. He is, I was going to say, a warrior monk. I don't see him use many weapons, but he summons some skeleton guys that fight with weapons, and they're very inventive in their ways of doing. One of the things I'm like, it's very MacGyver. After once you start getting into it and watching the way they definitely set traps and plan things out on ways to attack the goblins to make sure, because as Orkbog is the name that people know him by. It's the only other name other than Goblin Slayer that they call him. He definitely doesn't let a single goblin get away. Okay, like not at all. And like I'm talking like down to, you walk in on some baby goblins, and it's like the one's like, oh, they're kind of cuties. Like they won't be when they grow up.
He got a little Anakin vibes going.
For real, man, for real. But dude, the second season is just more of it. They're teaching some young adventurers, and you can feel there's a big thing going on, like with the goblins, and that's all it is. Is that like everywhere he goes, and like I say it's always goblins. It's not always goblins. They flaunt lots of different things, but the magic system in it and the way things go, it's really cool and fairly simple to pick up on, and just an interesting story and good animation. And it is definitely, I can't lie, the infamous first episode, the way it went, not that it was a good thing, it's not. It's absolutely a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it was like, man, if they're going to put this in the first episode, the fuck are they putting in the second and third? I gotta watch.
Yeah. Balls to the wall.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is that goblins are disturbing and the most despicable creatures ever. And they are bipedal humanoid things. So they're built kind of like us. And the most disgusting things you can think a person would do, the goblin's going to do those and have fun doing them. So it's a good thing we're slaying all these fucking goblins.
Yeah, he's killed it with extreme prejudice.
Extreme prejudice. So that
Kenpachi,
is my yes.
Me and you will just get a message from Dante going, "What the fuck?" once he watches that episode.
He was like, "Oh God, what did I sign up for?"
See, and
why did you not warn me?
I'm going to tell you that it is actually, now that I think about it, he will not be that. Not that it won't be like, man, that's disgusting. But I'm just gonna say that, like, I know some of the other anime we've watched, and I'm just gonna mention one. I don't know if you watched it, but Redo of Healer.
Love that series.
Did you watch that, Mike?
No, I know exactly where it is, but I have not brought myself to watch it.
Well,
Proceed with caution.
If Goblin Slayer bothered you, don't watch it. Do not. What happens in that first episode times 1,000.
Woo.
Yeah.
I didn't think Goblin Slayer was on that level. That's crazy.
No,
Damn.
I'm saying Redo of Healer is what happens in Goblin Slayer times 1,000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Redo of Healer is, and it's rough what they do to that guy.
I'm on my third watch through.
Yeah, it is. It is rough to watch. They treat old boy. He's just to give you a little bit of an idea. Well, you said I don't even talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. Hey, Mike, what's your number 6? Change that subject.
I feel like we'll save one of these for a little bit later. I'm going to say Scott Pilgrim. I'm only halfway through it, but I grew up with the manga, and then I grew up watching the live action, and the live action is like top 3 of my favorite films. But this cartoon anime, it's a different spin, and I'm liking it. It's not like a complete panel retelling of the film or the manga. So it's a third, like, different story, but set in the same universe. So I'm really, really liking it. And the fights are amazing still as well.
Yeah. The reviews for it are incredible. Like Rotten Tomatoes, IGN, they all loved it.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. I started an episode, and I'll be honest, it just wasn't in the mood for something right then. I actually turned everything off. And I think took a nap. I was
Out
you
cold.
start things at the wrong time. And you're like, all right, this is a bad idea, and you turn it off. And I haven't watched it. The only thing I've managed to watch today is the new episode of Dr. Stone because I was cooking all day and then had this planned. So I haven't watched JJK's new episode today.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I saw that right before I hopped on here.
I haven't watched it yet because I was in work until 5 o'clock.
Yeah, do not get on Facebook until you watched it. Stay away from Facebook until you've seen that episode. Unless you've read the manga already, then you're good.
I've read the manga, so I know I expect, but when you see it in motion picture, it just hits different with some music, some color.
Whew. It was rough. This episode was the pinnacle of emotional damage for sure.
Just goes down here from.
Yeah.
Gets worse in the next few
like
episodes.
Shibuya arc is crazy. It's such a crazy arc.
That was next level disrespect when Sukuna walks out with a drink and a bucket of nuggets, and he's like, "What's up?"
Yeah. Oh, so you want to go again?
In the middle of a fight because you ain't shit, bitch.
Yeah, like you hit like a hole. Which is funny because that is my number 6, Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya arc. And as far as it probably would have been a lot higher, but I did not expect the season to turn as crazy as it did. It's just like there's so many like top tier fights in this arc alone. Let's see, what's some of the fights? Yuji versus Chozo, Maharaga versus Sukuna versus Jogo, and then it's like Toji versus Gojo,
Megumi,
and Megumi too.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus Christ. Toji versus that octopus curse.
Dagon.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive too. Like he wasn't playing around. Like Daga was giving every Jujutsu sorcerer hell until Toji showed up. And Toji,
for me,
the best they were going to do was get out of his domain. That was the best thing. They're like, I could maybe open this domain for a minute, then I'm going to be trapped in here. Y'all are going to have to break back in. Like that. They had like nothing. They were just trying anything they could do. And then all of a sudden, here comes Toji. Yo, bitches, I got this. And he stepped through and took the stick and sharpened him up. And I was like,
let me borrow those nunchucks. Like, oh, no. He just went to work on all those supposed to be, what do they call those guaranteed hit attacks, fish that come and bite you and just smacking them out the way like it was nothing. And it was like, God.
Nothing.
Toji's an animal, man.
So out of the fights in Scott Pilgrim, do you feel like any of those are influenced by other fights that you've seen? I know that's a big thing now. Like when they get into, even like live action Creed 3, he had Majors watch a bunch of anime fights like Naruto and Sasuke fights because he was like, we're going to be like brothers fighting in Creed 3. And he's like, this is Naruto and Sasuke, and they're like brothers. And you can feel the emotion that they're fighting. And he's like, so I want our fight to somewhat emulate this. And when they were doing the fight, I don't know if y'all have seen Creed or not, but in the last fight, like they're up there just fighting and like swinging and ducking. And I mean, it feels like you're watching that Naruto and Sasuke fight when they're out there between the statues and they're like going back and forth at each other right there. And during the fight, like while they're right there in the middle of the room doing that, the cinematography they had where they took the camera and they're like swiveling around like they do in an anime fight. And I've not felt like I've seen that same, like the same kind of intensity with the cinematography coming in like that. And so I just love it when a good fight, like the Naruto and Sasuke fights, are emulated in other media, like in Creed 3. So I was wondering, is there anything that you felt like there was like that in Scott Pilgrim?
So far, no. I think that's because the fights is very similar to the ones that are in the manga panels and the ones in the live action, because the more video game inspired fights, aren't they? And then you've got So I haven't seen anything so far, but they could be in the next few episodes. So only time will tell. Just while we're on, what's it called? JJK. I recently just bought something JJK related.
Uh-oh.
I think you guys might appreciate
that. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Gojo.
Oh, yeah.
Satoru Gojo. Will's going to be mad he missed this stream. He is definitely going to be mad.
I've got so much nerdy stuff that I've got nowhere to put it, so I'm just looking for a place to put Gojo on my wall.
Yeah. My wall's kind of naked too. I need to put my One Piece poster behind me so I at least have something to look at. And it's just not something blank.
Just put a poster of Will up there so whenever he's not on stream, he's still on stream.
He's with us in spirit and behind me on this piece of paper.
Right. Man, I got so much stuff around my room, but like, I don't know, I got a record up here that is cut.
That looks like the Death Star.
Yep. And then this is Pez, Death Star down here. And then I've got a whole bunch of Marvel, it was the Disney Infinity stuff. It's a video game. And then up here on this thing, there, I got a One Piece, a Luffy statue. And the Planet Express is up there. Up there.
Nice. Planet Express.
On the camera.
Nice.
Oh, and then there's my One Piece picture. Can you see it? There, I think. I got it there.
Nice. So far, I haven't hung anything up yet, but this is one of my newest additions. That's going to be Frederick Mercury.
Right, ready.
Pretty.
Oh yeah.
Queen fan?
Yeah, I love me some Queen. I'm trying to get another one of Steven Tyler, maybe. If I could find like a Chester Bennington, I'd probably get that up on the wall too. Some of my favorite lead singers. Rest in peace, man. One of the legends, man. I appreciate his whole career.
It's just so sad when you listen back and the songs that were the ones he wrote, and you can hear it in the lyrics that he was writing there. He was struggling sometimes, but at the same time, they're the same songs that help everyone that is struggling now. So he's helped so many people with his own struggles. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, dude was crying out for help with some of his lyrics, and people were just like, let me just jam out and relate to this real quick before we get into the therapy session. Oh my God, man, miss that guy. Yeah, I think we made it to our number 5s now.
I was just saying, we're halfway through. It's only been 2 hours. If you're here with us, thanks for sticking by. My number 5, another new one. I can't help it. This new season is so good. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. This is a fantasy drama action there was a heroes party, and you see in the first episode, and one of the heroes party is an elf. There's an elf, a dwarf, and 2 humans. They go and they beat the Demon King. You don't see a whole lot of it. You find out that they did all this adventuring, and then at the end of it, they kind of go their separate ways, and she decides she's going to travel the world and look for unique spells. She likes new magic, and so she just wants to travel around and look for new magic.
Oh.
When she leaves, all those people, well, not all, 2 of the people, the 2 humans, one of them passes away, and so when she comes back, he's dead. And then the other one asks her to, he comes to see him, and he's like, I'm close to passing away. I've found this girl. He's a priest, and he's like, she was left here at the church, and I've raised her, and nobody's going to take her in, and she is fairly adept at using magic. So I thought she'd be a good apprentice for you. And she tells her, she's like, oh, no, I couldn't take her. She'd have to be as good as a practical mage for me to take her as an apprentice. Otherwise, she'd just get killed traveling around. And so the priest pulls a trick on her and gets her to stick around while doing something. And he's like, hey, while you're here, why don't you show her how to do some magic? And so she basically trains her while she's there. And so when she leaves, he passes away, and she decides to take the girlfriend with her when she leaves. And they go and visit the dwarf in the group, and he's like, no, I can't go do anything. I'm too old. I'm getting slow, blah, blah, blah. And, but I got an apprentice, and he needs someone to help boost his confidence. You should take him with you. So she goes and she gets this kid Stark, and Freeran, Fern, and Stark travel around, and everywhere she goes, she finds things that's reminding her about her journey with the heroes party, and the times that she had, and how she remembers her friends, and so it's kind of like hits the emotion of nostalgia, like how you would feel if you were in those kind of situations. Scenes would go around, and the emotions that she deals with while basically raising these 2 new adventurers, and it's definitely got a comedic feel to it, but it's mostly a drama, and it's just really like the story is what's good. It's very wholesome and fun, and oh, by the way, also, demons only learn to speak so they can fool humans. They don't actually use speech to convey anything. They only speak to fool humans. And it's just like that kind of thing. And to me, like, I'm like, that makes me chuckle because of things that have went on. So you gotta, but it's really, like I said, just a great show. Nothing, it is not bloody, even though there's swords and things going on. Not bloody. Yeah, there's dragons, there's elves, dwarves. You know what I mean? So it's like that kind of fantasy, something along the lines of like Tolkien-esque. So, and when I say the elves are long-lived, like thousands of years. So a human lives, 80 years when they get old, right? She lives for thousands. So, like, they are a blink of an eye for her. But part of her on this journey is understanding that how much effect that blink of an eye part of her life has on her as a whole. Like, how will that affect you're going to be alive for another 1,000 years. Do you remember it in 1,000 years? Absolutely.
Sound like it's worth the hype.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's number 5 on my list. I mean, it definitely, and there was some fights too went on. Like these anime, you should have saw them. They were on my floor, rolling around. I think that Pluto got bloodied up at one point. That's why it was down at number 8, man. So, like it was raw. I'm thinking Bungo Stray Dogs pulled out a knife.
Yeah, I'm gonna shake them.
That's right. So, what about you, Mike? What's your number 5? Or well,
see, mine went.
I was gonna say, you guys want to watch it or want to say anything about Free Run?
I need those.
I haven't watched it. Didn't even know it existed. As I said, more and more getting put on my radar from this podcast here. Just gives me more and more homework to do.
Yeah, every time I log into Facebook, it's another free run post. Somebody's always hyping it up on my feed.
That's cool. I'm glad to see it. Like I said, man, it really, I was actually going to skip it. I didn't start watching it till about the 4th episode in. I wasn't even going to watch it. In fact, it may be the 28th on my list because I wasn't going to watch it. I didn't think it sounded good by reading the synopsis of it. So I had moved on. I was watching other things. And then I saw a couple, like you said, a couple posts on Facebook about it. I was like, maybe I'll give an episode a shot. And man, it just like boom, 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 boom. I knocked down all the episodes I was behind in one afternoon. I was like, yeah, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So sorry about that, Mike. What's your number 5, man?
My number 5, as I said, mine aren't in order. They're just a list of all the ones I've watched recently. So next is Castlevania Nocturne.
Oh, nice.
I really enjoyed the first leg where this one. I don't think it's as good. It hasn't gripped me as much as it did with Trevor, but Richter Belmont grew on me by the end, and the cliffhanger at the end where Alucard comes in at the very last second, all in white, has me really hyped for season 2. It was just it was that last little bit at the end. It was like, what's going to happen next? The badass Alucard's come. He's going to kick everyone's ass now. He's just going to use his telekinesis on his sword and just through every single vampire.
Jesus Christ. Is Alucard in like multiple different series, like Van Helsing and Castlevania, or?
Yeah, he's in I think 3 of them. I'm going to be honest, all of it I've gotten from reading, but he's in at least 2 or 3. That if you go and look, these actually adapt storylines from the game.
Oh yeah, some of them mash up like 2 or 3 games together and make a better storyline that was in just one of them. So they pick and choose which lore works, but Alucard's just a badass, so I just can't wait to see him fuck some vampires up.
Right,
absolutely.
Right. And I felt the same way. I thought that this was really good. I like the animation. I like the story they're setting up. I like all the characters in it. I felt like the chicks that had attitude in it, man, they were awesome. Like, I don't remember their names, but it was really fun to watch all of them interact and the kind of snarky attitude that went back and forth between some of them. I loved it. I felt like this isn't enough. But then again, that's what I thought about is if you go back to the beginning of the first Castlevania series, we only had 4 episodes the first season. This one, at least we had 8. So, and we got Alucard at the end of it. So I was like, okay, looking back at that and watching that over again, I was like, okay, I can see where this is just building. This is going to be better next season. I really, really dug the what do they call the guys that make the Night Beast?
Forge Masters.
Yeah, the Forge Masters. I really dug that whole premise of them. You had two of them in the regular Castlevania series, and then this guy was kind of a Forge Master, but not really. So like that is a really interesting genre of character that I've never really seen before. I don't know. You can't really call them like necromancers because they're not really like just bringing back the dead. They're turning them into other creatures through some sort of mystical means. Is it possession? I'm not really sure.
I think it's said along the lines of a Forge Master uses their hammer to imbue a demon soul into a human body. So it's kind of necromance, but instead of bringing a dead body back to life, they're bringing a demon soul into a human body and they then control it.
So possession, in essence.
In essence.
Okay. And it causes a mutation that is pretty badass. So, yeah, I definitely liked Nocturne. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to season 2. So.
Yes, sir.
Did you see it, Deontay? Or
I have not. I need to start Castlevania in general.
you didn't watch the first series either?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. That's some of the best animation and fight scenes in all of anime those years, honestly.
Man.
Like, dude, you're talking, this is MAPPA and Ufotable level animation. Hands down. Like, Mike, wouldn't you say? Like,
yeah,
easily
I completely agree.
Easily as good as anything in Demon Slayer, JJK. You can go look at all the Fate series, which, by the way, there wasn't anything hardly new this year. But the Fate series has some of the most amazingly animated fight scenes. But this is right up there with them, man. And the last one where he's fighting like a giant demon, and he's just like flipping the whip around, bam, 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 bam. It's just like, fuck, dude.
Man.
I think that this season Nocturne was missing Trevor. He's just witty and sarcastic, where the main character in this one, what is it? Richter. He's not as sarcastic and as funny as the Trevor was. So I think they need that more, the MC who's a bit more cheeky.
And I think the word you were looking for him is a little bit. He is whiny. Wasn't very courageous at the beginning of it. He was, I mean, it's not like he was really scared, but I don't know. He's kind of annoying is what it is. At the end,
I agree.
He got a little better, but he's kind of whiny. So there was that. But the animation and the other characters made up for Richard being a little bit.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Right. Give him $100 bill, tell him to stuff it in his zipper, run to the whorehouse and settle his fucking problems, please.
Jesus Christ, man.
Fucking basketball is in. All right, so go on to you, Deontay. What's your number 5, man?
My number 5 has been talked about already a little bit. It's just Demon Slayer, the Swordsmith Village arc. I enjoyed the animation, of course. The music was just as good as the other 2 arcs. They even prelude, or they kind of like get you prepared for the next arc, which should be coming out not too long from now, where they're training with the Hashira. The Hashira training arc is coming. And then right after that, we should be getting into Infinite Castle. So I'm really excited for the Infinite Castle arc of Demon Slayer. It's my favorite outside of Entertainment District, Infinite Castle is definitely like my top arc for the Demon Slayer series. And God, it's just more wholesomeness from Tanjiro, and we finally get to see Zenitsu and Inosuke are coming back for these next two arcs too. So it's going to be there's going to be a lot of emotional damage coming for the next two arcs. So I'm excited about that.
Do you think it's going to be a movie? Because Mugen Train was a movie because that was a short arc, and the Hashira training arc is very short as well. It's like, if I remember correctly, it's one of the shortest arcs in the manga.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how they're going to get a season out of it.
They should definitely make a movie out of that and then hype the hell out of it. Better anime, Rockstar soundtrack, and then just maybe drag some parts of it. We could probably get like a good hour and a half out of that arc, maybe.
I'm thinking the final scene would be where the master blows himself up to try and kill Muzan, and then that it just cuts out. That way, if you're in a movie theater, that's a cliffhanger. You don't know who survives, who doesn't.
Yeah.
And get you hyped for the season that's going to come out after that.
Yeah, just roll the credits.
Exactly, like when Gyutaro did the blades and then the credits go and you're like, did he just fucking blow up and kill everyone? And you don't know until a week later.
Yeah, you just play like a sad like ending theme to like help with the credits and make people like who don't read the manga freak out and piss themselves. So.
I can see a lot of people would have put the fist through the TV screen when that happened.
Oh God, that'd be a box office smash. Yeah, we pretty much covered.
I don't know what that's what they're gonna do, but yeah, the movie ended on that cliffhanger. Sounds pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see them do that. But I thought I heard that they were going to be putting the next two arcs together in the season, because there's some castle arc.
The Infinite Castle. Yeah,
I think that they're putting the Hashira training and the Infinite Castle arc together. Is what I thought that I read that somewhere. Now that could be total rumor, so don't hold me to it. But I believe that I heard something about that.
I heard rumors like that too.
But I gotta say that ending a movie with old boy blowing himself up would be badass.
Man,
like people would walk out of that theater cussing. What the motherfucking
what is going on?
Getting people hyped and talking about a show is what makes it money. So it'd be a perfect way to get everyone talking until the season starts.
Exactly.
Oh, I agree 100%. I just think you're gonna have people pissy too.
Man. So there's another rumor.
Maybe you should email them and tell them my idea and get credit for it.
Right, you should.
We gotta give Mike credit for it. Yeah, there's another rumor.
Blowing up.
Yeah, season 4 is supposed to be shorter. Supposed to be just as short as season 3, so we might have a part 1 and part 2 of Infinity Castle. I hope that's not the case though, because I really want the whole Infinity Castle. There's not too many places where you could end that and then like, okay, we see you next year for part 2, and it's like, no, just give me Infinity Castle all at once.
Well, I'm trying to think now. So you've got, what fights have you got? You've got Doma versus Shinobu and,
oh man,
what's her name? Kanoi? It's a Tanjiro's little bear on the side.
Mm-hmm.
The one who flips a coin.
Yeah.
Or used to. You've also got the Mist against the number one. Oh, what's his name?
Kate
Yororichi's brother. The
Kurotsubi?
moon.
Huh?
The moon demon.
The
big
number
bad
one
one.
upper moon.
Yeah. He goes against his ancestor, doesn't he? He goes against the Mist Hashira.
Yeah, his name starts with a K. That's all I remember.
It's on the tip of my. It's on the tip of my tongue as well.
I have not read that manga yet.
It's
not?
worth it.
There's 3 big fights, and then you've got the fight against Muzan, and then you've got the twist at the very end that they'll have to also do as well. So
yeah,
Infinity Castle's a massive arc, so I can say they might do the first 2 fights, then the second 2, and then end it with the twist with Tanjiro at the end.
yeah.
So
Infinity Castle, the end of it.
There's
Yeah,
one more
there's
arc,
only
I think.
2 more arcs,
Yeah.
Hashira training, and then Infinity. That's it.
And that's it. That's over.
Yeah.
There's something called Sunrise after that kind of like wraps up like what happens to Tanjiro, which I won't spoil, but I
mean,
could.
just so you know, I already know. I mean, but I don't mind. Like we don't have to talk about it to the other people. But I'm just saying that I'm that guy that sometimes just I started reading something about somebody in a fandom page and accidentally read too far, and I'm like, oh, okay, well that makes
His
sense.
name's Koko Shibu.
There it is. Kokushi.
And we've also got Akaza's fight as well.
Yeah, I think we get his backstory too. It's like when people get so attached to him, it's like, yeah, he's actually one of like the more popular upper moon demons for a good reason too. So
It's going to be a lot of fun.
yes, indeed.
So does that mean we're on to number 4?
We sure are.
All right. Well, I actually am really happy to talk about number 4. My number 4 is an anime called Undead Girl Murder Fart.
What was that last word?
Fart. F-A-R-C-E.
I thought you said fart.
Fart. It's fart. It's fart.
Wait a minute.
No, the name of it again is Undead Girl Murder Fart. And a farce is another name for a mystery, is what I think they said at one point. So it's a kind of a lengthy name, but the main character is an immortal chick that had her head cut off and her body stolen. And so her maid, who is also like her protector, carries her head around in a bird cage with like a drape around it. Yeah, that's a thing. So she just like opens it up, and he's a detective. So she's trying to find her body, but she solves other things along the way. Her name's Ayo Rindo. Maybe I think it is Ayo Rindo. And then she meets this guy who is a combination of an Oni and a human, and his name is Tsuru Kinuchi. He follows her around as another kind of protector and helps her. He's, if I remember right, he is like known for killing demons. So, he's supposed to be real badass. The thing that really got me, like, it's really kind of, it seems like it's like all supernatural, and there's definitely like supernatural things going on. But, so, there's like werewolves in it. At one point, he is or she is Aya is in a contest over. They're trying to catch the Arsene Lupin, and she's in a contest with Sherlock Holmes and Watson, trying to catch Arsene Lupin, who is working with the Phantom of the Opera.
So
And then,
very literal.
Yes,
Characters from literature.
absolutely. And as it goes on, you find out that there's this group called Banquet that is run by Moriarty, and the characters in the Banquet are Aleister Crowley, Carmilla, who is a vampire, Victor, who is like Frankenstein's monster, and there's an English serial killer who wanted to be more powerful, so he was part Oni, and then also infused him with part of Aya Rindo's body, because Moriarty's the one that stole her body, and he infused Jack the Ripper with all that stuff. Hang on just a second. Are you okay? Okay. Kids, they happen.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like I said, the literary heroes in it, heroes and villains, on top of werewolves and this whole supernatural vibe going on. There's another group of people in it that are called the Parisians that are there they just kill monsters, any of them. So they want to kill Aya Rindo and Suguru and all of the Banquet. They want to kill everybody. They might want to kill Arsene Lupin and the Phantom of the Opera because they're a little too close to monsters with the way they operate too. So they're those kind of people. Religious zealots. We got a few of those here in America.
Undead Girl, Murder Farce.
Yeah, and it's got good animation. I wouldn't say it's like it's not about the. I mean, there's really good fight scenes, and it's well animated, but it's not like you're not going to see like Mappa and Ufotable, that kind of stuff. Those are like big, over the top, really like they're like watching a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right. So that's my number 5. It's one that I think that everybody will like. It's definitely got a little something for everybody. There's some comedy, some action, the murder mystery behind it, plus the literary heroes that people are just going to kind of relate to. So yeah. I don't imagine either one of you has seen it. So
No.
with that thought in mind, Mike, what's your number 4?
I think I've got one left that we haven't talked about, and it had one of the best opening episodes, Oshinoko.
Oh,
Really?
Did you watch it?
a lot of hype around it, but I haven't started it yet.
And that's what I'm going to say is that I've been told by several people that I should watch it, and I'm just not into it. Sounded like an idol anime, and I try and avoid those. Like, if there's going to be somebody singing, now this is supposed to like highlight the darker backside of the idol community in parts of it. So that's sort of interesting, but I'll let you tell me about it because, like I said, I haven't watched anything.
I don't want to spoil it much, but it's quite dark. The first episode is a long episode. It's like a tiny, small movie, but it sets up the whole series going forward, and I think you'd like it. As I said, it shows the darker sides of entertainment / media in Japan. It's not all glamour and great. It's backstabbing, blaming mental illnesses is brought up in it a lot, and it just shows you that the grass isn't always greener on the other side, kind of thing. Even though you got money and you're rich, but watch that first episode, and once you watch that first episode, you can't stop afterwards. The only problem is there's a part of it that is a bit weird, because it's kind of like an isekai, and it delves into the isekai of weirdness or slash fan service, like a lot of them do. It's a doctor gets reincarnated as a baby of the main girl, Ai. So it's technically a full-grown man is being a baby of a 16-year-old girl. It's Japan. That's Japan for you.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, there was the same kind of thing with Mushoku Tensei. You know what I mean? Because when he was reincarnated, he was a 30-year-old man, reincarnated as a baby, and he was stuck in a mommy's titties. And he was looking at him like,
Yeah.
nice titties, bro.
Life is good. I can get used to this.
And when he was a kid, he was sneaking in, listening to his parents doing it. Like, he was, so that, I mean, that's a little bit sketch. But then he started to act more normal as he got older and started to interact with people more. Like, so, but yeah, I get it. Yeah. They
just thrown in there for fun. It's a good story with a weird fan service in, which is most anime when it comes to isekai anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
I recommend watching the first episode, and then you'll be hooked.
I am going to give it a shot. I don't know when, but I will definitely give it a shot. Because, like I said, you're not the only person to tell me that I should watch it.
Yeah, we all got some homework to do after this. Jeez.
Right. Oh, wait. No, I watched almost all that stuff that y'all I got to watch Oshinoko. That's the only thing I got.
Man.
So what do you got, Deontay? What's your number 4? I'm looking at it, but I want to hear you tell me.
So I'm actually going to do a swap out because I kind of, my 3 and 4 are kind of a little bit backwards now that I've gotten caught up on some certain shows. Number 4 now is going to be Dr. Stone. And Dr. Stone has always been one of my favorites. I was there when it first debuted on Crunchyroll. Senku is like my spirit animal. Dude is a beast, though. I wish I had like a quarter of the brain power that this man has, because he's able to just reinvent everything that mankind thrived on with that big ass head of his. He's able to rebuild civilization, and he's trying to figure out why all of mankind turned into stone. And it's just like, dude, like halfway into season 2, he already had a cure for the petrification. So it's like, Jesus. Actually, no, he had the cure in season 1 too. So
yep, I was gonna say he had that in season 1. That's how he was building, getting people and thawing them out.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, season 3 is really off the chain too. Do you watch it, Mike?
I've watched season 2, but I haven't started season 3 yet.
Gotcha.
I need to start season 3 myself.
Season 3 is definitely different. I'm not going to go into a lot of the specifics, but if you watch season 2, you watch the special, you know what's going on. They built the boat. They're headed out across the ocean. And they go to look for, they want to go head to where they thought this sound was coming from. Mr. Y is what they call it. So that's kind of what's going on. Again, they get into a lot of new things they're building, but I don't want to go into a lot of it. All I'm going to say is that the best thing for me about this anime is that all of the things that they're doing in the anime are real science experiments. Now, you maybe shouldn't try them because you can blow shit up, but and you may not get the experiment to work right either. There are things that have to happen that they may not go over everything in the anime, but all of the ideas that they talk about are sound scientific ideas that work legitimately. People have actually built part of the things that he has in the anime just to prove that they do work. Holden said something about the one of the generators that they and what the generator and the battery that he built. They built that and it worked. That's my 14-year-old that told me that, by the way.
Yeah, like everything he's ever invented in a TV series is like the recipe is the real deal.
Yeah. So I love that show. We were talking about it today. You know, I don't know if you know this, but Jen's not really into anime. She likes some of them, but she doesn't like watching anything sub. She has to watch dub. And so Holden started watching Dr. Stone back there in English. And she was like, yeah, I really like that. That's pretty cool. So, you know, another one that Jen likes. It's awesome.
Yeah, Senku would be considered a witch depending on where he's at.
Oh, that's true. Well, he's considered a sorcerer in the show. So,
yeah,
you know.
he sure is.
All right. Well, that's our number 4 then. Did you have anything you wanted to say about Dr. Stone, Mike?
No, as I said, I've not watched the new season. I'm just, from the sound of it looks like I'm in for some fun there.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, my number 3 is, I'm going to imagine that nobody else has watched this either, but Ancient Magus Bride, Season 2, came out this year. It is not my typical anime. Ancient Magus Bride is a story about Tisei and Elias. Elias is a magus who is he has like skeletal hands and a black flowing cloak and like a horse or bull skull as a face, and he's like some supernatural kind of being. But he's been alive for a long time, and he's the ancient magus. In the beginning of the first season, he actually buys Tisei from an auction. He's a human that is a Gendi. It's Slay Beggy is what they call them, and they are a human who is loved by magic and fairies. So her body and a Slay Beggy, their body just naturally absorbs magic from the environment. So she's able to absorb it, and they generally absorb too much magic, and it overloads their body, and so they die at a young age. Elias buys Tisei as a slave, but he tells her, he goes, "You're free from this point on." He goes, "But I bought you to be my apprentice and my bride. To be able to do what you want, but this is going to be our relationship going forward." Just so you know, Elias, in the terms of relationship, you find this out through the second of the different things that have been out for it, that Elias thinks of things in almost a childlike manner, and someone told him that a bride was someone that you love and they love you, so that you help them and they help you, and you support each other throughout life. They didn't get into the emotional feelings of love. It was more of a you do this, they do this, and so you do these things for each other as sort of a contractual relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. As it's moved on, he is learning more and more about it. So don't think it's going to stay that way. But he is now started in a school. Because, of course, all magic users have to go to school. There's a difference in their world between mages and sorcerers. And she is a mage or magus, and she's learning to be a sorcerer as well. So, interesting. It is more of a slice of life drama than I normally watch. There is definitely fight scenes in it. There are many dragons and supernatural creatures, and the story is so. This is another anime that I've cried during. The story is so completely amazing and enthralling that you cannot help but love it. It is the relationship that develops between them two. Someone who has the emotions of a child, who is now working with someone who's is a free slave. They've been a slave all their life and told they were less than, and now they're being told you're exactly what we need. And it just is. It's really beautiful to watch the relationship bloom between them two. That's all I can say. On top of top-notch animation all the way through, when they start doing their magic, it is amazing. It's quite a bit to watch. I think the first season was like 28 episodes, and then there was a 3-episode OVA, and now season 2 is in core 2, so it's going to be, at the end of it, another 28 episodes or whatever, so 26, 28. So, but yeah, that's, like I said, I don't know that anybody else, have you, either of you, ever watched the Ancient Magus Bride?
I have not.
I haven't watched it, but it's on my radar, as in I've heard people talk about it and say it's good.
Alrighty. Well then, I will pass the mic to Mike. You number 3, or you said that was the last one on your list, didn't you?
I did, but I've just realised no one said this one yet. Spy Family.
Oh, that was my number 3.
Oh, well, we'll get it both of them out of the way at the same time.
Yeah.
Number 3 for both of you. Spy Family.
Exact same number.
Go ahead, Mike. You take it away. I'll listen to what both of you got. I haven't caught up on the new season yet.
Where can you go wrong with Lloyd, Anya, and your perfect power couple there, aren't they?
Yeah.
The shenanigans, the fun. It just carried on being as good as season 1 left off. And I can't wait until the next episode comes out and the next episode.
Yeah.
Just wacky hijinks with an undertone of spy espionage, and can't go wrong with it. It's one of those where it's got the action and the slice of life undertones as well, with them slowly budding and actually enjoying being a family, even though at the start it was set up as a ruse to do certain things. Right. You're needing to set up a family so she's not suspicious of being an assassin. Lloyd setting up a family so he can be a spy.
Not be a
so,
yeah. And Anya just being able to read minds, and
oh yeah,
she can read everybody's mind at pretty much at all times. It's good God, man. She's such a comedian by herself, and currently in this season, we're on the Yor's final mission arc, and she has to protect somebody on this cruise while she's on this cruise, and there's nothing but assassins on this boat, and she's gonna have to face off with all of them, and it's been so insane so far, and it's just Lloyd and Anya had to tag along. They have no idea what the fuck is going on this boat. But Anya, like, when she gets close enough to Yor, she can read her mind, and she finds out the truth about what's going on. And she's like trying to find subtle ways to help Mom out. And the ways that she chooses to help her are hilarious. And this is probably hands down the best arc in the series. All the other arcs are good, but this one was just like you get to find out just how good of an assassin Yor Forger is, and she is well trained. She has like her higher ups, like the guy that tasks her with all her missions is even crazy powerful and skilled. The old man that they sent on a cruise with them is dangerous too. It's just like, wow. The violence goes up a notch. Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's a kitten.
Yes, this is the newest member of our family. Her name is
Pumpkin. What's the name?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Change your cat energy, that one.
Time to fight. Okay, no, jump down. Go ahead.
Bite. Yeah, Spy Family's been incredible this season.
Yeah, I think that by the end of season 1, Bond was my favorite, though, because the dog is awesome.
He's just as funny in this season as he was in season 1.
He always seems to know what's going on and just drags Anya out of the way in the right moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Isn't there a movie coming out? Like, is it December?
Yeah, I think he comes out next month.
Yeah, I thought there was something else coming up.
It's called Spy Family Code White, but I can't remember the release date though.
All right. Well, that was y'all's number 3, so we're to our number 2. My number 2, and again, like I went way out on a limb and like tried to find things that you guys hadn't been talking about. Maybe you watched this one, Mike. It's called Heavenly Delusion. Tengoku Daimyako. I like Heavenly Delusion. It's easier to say. But this one is sort of it's post-apocalyptic, and there are monsters that are eating people. They call them man-eaters. Imagine that. They eat people, and they call them man-eaters.
Yeah.
It seems to work. They take all kinds of forms. Like one looks like a fish kind of walking on legs, with tentacles coming out of it. It's all weird. So, you keep getting flashbacks. Like you got this brother and sister at the beginning of it, and you watch them, and they were doing something like this race, and then one of these man-eaters come, and you see both of them kind of get fucked up. You don't know what happens after that. Then it flashes, and it shows you this other group of kids. It's not any of the ones that were there before, and these people are in like a sealed place. It looks like a hospital kind of place, and they tell everybody they can't go outside. There's nothing but death and destruction outside, or something like that. So right off the bat, it's giving me Promised Neverland vibes. You know what I mean? These kids inside the place giving me the Promised Neverland vibes. All right, but then you got these other two kids, the other two kids. When it goes back to them, you only see the one, and it's the older sister. Okay, and she's walking around with this blonde dude who's not her younger brother, who's just some other dude, and you find out that she's transporting him somewhere. Like there's just, I don't want to give. Did you watch it, Mike?
I have not, unfortunately.
It is very dark. It's definitely up your alley. Good animation. I don't want to go into what is going on, but it is like, think The Last of Us and Promised Neverland and that kind of a scenario and vibe, and that's what it is. And it's really good. And there's another one of those like controversial scenes where some shit happens that you don't want to talk about at some point in it, and like you just yeah, it's really good. It's really dark and edgy, and at the same time, like you watch a relationship grow between certain people in it. So you know, it's not much of a comedy. There's a few times that you make you chuckle, but it's not really a comedy. You're not going to be laughing much. It's mostly shitty shit happening. You know, sometimes it'd be like that, you know, but it's really good. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. The writing on it really, they're searching for the two of them. The girl, while she's transporting that kid, she's looking for other people that she knew in the past. And that hunt for those people leads her to sometimes when you don't want what you ask for kind of situation. You know, she finds out that it wasn't really what she thought when she finds them. So, yeah, but it's like I said, really good, dark. You know, don't watch it with kids. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, definitely. It's not a kids movie. It's not. It's not a kids movie. So
it's pretty high up on your list if it's your number 2.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, like it had me. Like I was watching it hardcore, and like it kind of fucked me up at the end of it. When there's a huge twist that happens, and I was just like, "Fuck, man, wow." Like, you know, yep, it was what it is, you know. But yeah, it's that high because, like I said, it had it all, man. It really had it all. Good writing, good animation. Not only was the writing good, but the story kept giving you these ups and downs and highs and lows and emotions that you know you're like, wow, this. So and you know, as you're watching it, that not everything that you're watching is happening in chronological order, but you also don't know what might or might not be in chronological order. So, and that's kind of why I said is it kind of fucks with you a little bit, and that you're trying to figure out what's going on. And I had figured, like I said,
he dropped off.
Everybody dropped off. Sorry about that. But yeah, at the end of it, there's a little twist that, you know, you're like, damn, out of everything that I thought I had figured out, that wasn't something that I had figured out. So, but yeah, I definitely suggest it. It's definitely one of those that takes you on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to talk about, Mike? You got a number 2 or number 1 or anything? I know that you looked through most of your list.
See, the only problem is my number 1 and number 2 are Attack on Titan and JJK, but you guys put that way lower down your lists.
Yeah, it's hard for me. It was hard for me to find something better, but then just like shows like my top 2 and then Spy Family, I was just like, there's no way I can lower them. I probably could have moved Dr. Stone a whole lot lower, and
I was surprised it was as high on your list as it was.
Yeah, Dr. Stone should have been like my number 8. Attack on Titan should have been higher. Bleach should have been higher, and JJK probably could have been a little bit above Demon Slayer, honestly.
See, the problem with JJK is everyone's saying that the last few episodes, the animators again overworked, weren't as good as they could have been.
Man, I got news for them people. Mappa's been doing this for years. People have been complaining about it for years. I'm not saying that makes it right, but what are you going to do about it? I mean, until there are laws and regulations put in place in Japan that stop them from doing this stuff, they're going to keep doing it. I mean, they can just keep hiring new people to do what they're doing. I mean, and people, when they take the job, generally, if you're an animator, you're out of work, and somebody says, hey, we're going to give you a place to live. It's right here in the building. You don't even need a car to get to work. That sounds like a good fucking gig, you know? And, you know, then you get there and you find out that you're required to work 65 hours a week, you know?
Yeah.
And anything over 40 hours is unpaid. That's how you pay for your apartment. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's right, but I don't know what to do about it. But I guess complaining about it, everybody keeps talking about it. Maybe the company will feel some pressure and obligation to then change something. But I mean, we're talking about Japan, and I don't see them doing it. I don't see them putting in those regulations to stop that. That's one of the things that they want things very unregulated because they don't have to worry about those things when trying to move some kind of technology forward. Same thing with their housing. They say it very directly that they build houses like other people build, you know, TVs and cars. They're disposable. You build a house, you live in it for 10 or 15 years, then you go buy a new place, bulldoze that down and build something new because somebody wants the newest shit anyway. And they sell their houses a lot cheaper, but they, you know, I watched a couple videos on it the other day because, you know, they don't have a housing problem in Japan. There's affordable housing there. In Tokyo even. And that's amazing that in the middle of huge cities like that, they still have affordable housing. Yet I just got told that my rent on this piece of shit place that I rent is going to go up to $850 a month. You know, go up $250 a month in a couple months. And I'm like,
yeah, there's a couple TikTokers that talk about how Japan is like one of the places that, like, if you were to abandon America, you could probably get by. Tokyo was one of them. And I was like, wow, what? So that kind of reinforces why people say that. That makes sense.
Yeah, they build a lot of their structures, and not only that, they build a lot of their society to be not necessarily, and I say disposable, I don't mean it to sound like that, but they think about things as these aren't permanent. They're not as, this is the way I want to say it, they are not as attached to material goods as Americans are. For Americans, those material goods are a status symbol, a symbol of your superiority in working or finance or whatever the fuck it is you do. This is your status symbol. Is I got money, I got cars, I got bitches, blah blah blah. You know, that's how you show that you're big stuff. That's not the way it is in Japan. That stuff. I mean, I'm not going to say that there's not people that are that way, but they also have, you know, they build their shrines to last. They build, you know, and if you build a family estate, you'll build that to last. But if you're just buying a house in the city to go to work in, you're going to buy something because how long are you going to be working that job? You may want to move in 5 years. So, you know, it's a different way of looking at things and not putting the emotional attachment that a lot of people have to the material things that you buy. At least that's the way I kind of took it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think they think of their society as disposable, just that they think of certain things is they're not as attached to it as other people are.
Yeah, and Mappa's employees like threatening to go on strike. I think that's probably the best way to handle that is to send a message just by like you can't fire all of us if none of us show up to work. What you gonna do? And
Right.
hit them in the pockets.
Well, and here's the thing: is that supposedly the last 2 episodes of JJK weren't supposed to come out on time. Obviously, they did. But is the next one going to be late? Is the one after that going to be late? At some point, they're going to fall behind. You know?
Yeah, we're about to fuck around and find out.
For real, for real. All right, let's finish this up. We got JJK talked about. What's your number 2, Deontay?
My number 2 is actually Mushoku Tensei, and I'm pretty sure you would saw that coming because there isn't too many anime that I would place above Mushoku Tensei. So that was a number 2 pick that's rightfully there. One of my favorite main characters in anime, Rudeus Grey Rat. Like you said before, 30-something-year-old man died in a car accident and reincarnated as a child from like ground zero and starts his whole childhood over with again. Guy's like a prodigy, wizard or magic user, and he doesn't even need incantations to activate his spells and attack stuff. And then he just gets better and better over time. He learns a lot of harsh life lessons as he goes along. He even experiences his first heartbreak after he loses his virginity. Like the girl ghosts him after he gets laid. So it's like, oh, poor Rudy. It's like watching your own son grow up because it's like,
man, that was rough watching it ghosted. Like they slept together, and he's like, "Am I doing it right?" He's all nervous about it, and then he wakes up and she's just gone, and it's like, oh my God, I must have been so bad.
I was like, not my little boy, not my son. It's like the kid looks nothing like me, but fuck.
About me.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ. Was that there's 3 seasons, right? Or is it 2? Because
it's just 2, man.
Just 2. Okay, so season 1 left off with Eris ghosting him, and season 2 picks up with him trying to move on from her, basically, and he's just like, yo, I just can't get hard for anybody else. Like, I think I have erectile dysfunction, and he goes on this whole mission to try to solve his erectile dysfunction, while at the same time trying to solve the mystery of that mass teleportation that happened in season 1 as well. And it's just like, God, it's hilarious and it's painful because it's like, bro, you got all these different options of women to choose from, and you just can't get it up for nobody but Eris. And it's like,
I gotta tell you, season 2 made me feel about as awkward as I have ever felt watching an anime. Like the lengths he goes to try and, and the fact they're just like talking about it the whole time. I'm just like, why are we watching the impotent anime? I was like, man, oh, they're worried about AI. Rudy's worried about IA.
It was like, damn, Rudy. And he finally, I think he had a solution too. Like, yeah, he did find a solution at the end. So, Mike, if you haven't seen it, if you didn't mind spoilers, he rendezvous with Sylvie again. But I won't tell you what else happens with Sylvie unless you've seen it.
I haven't seen it, but from what you're saying, I can imagine what sorts it out.
he figured something out. Now I'm proud of him. Now he's a man now. He's got to be like 15 or 16 now. And it's just like, damn, this is his struggle, his life struggle right now. Everybody else is like trying to survive or hunt down monsters and demons, and he's just like, I just can't get hard. It's like Rudy.
He was working on in the anime too. That's not the only thing he was concentrating on. But yeah, it really seemed to be a lot of it. And like, Oh gosh, it's cringe at point. Very
Yeah,
cringe.
like a big dosage of cringe and wholesomeness going on in this series.
Right.
It's like, God.
All I'm gonna say, him and the Beast Girls is cringe.
Yeah.
That was cringe. All right. I'm not gonna tell you what happened, Mike. Go watch it, but it was cringe.
That is something to look forward to because Mushoku Tensei, I think, won Anime of the Year twice at Crunchyroll, and then JJK came out. Or no, Mushoku Tensei won Anime of the Year 1 year, and then JJK picked up the next year. And I think One Piece was just recently the Anime of the Year. So it's like 3 really great animes for a reason. But that's it for my number 2. Mushoku Tensei earned its spot. Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. I had the family asking me something, and I was like sparing everyone else the dirty details on it. By the way, I'm gonna go. We need to go ahead and get our number ones out because it is food 30, and you need to wash your ass and get over here so you can eat. But
Hell yeah.
I love Mushoku Tensei. I cannot wait for more of it to come out. And then we'll move on. My number 1. We are not. I love my boys at Comedy Inclined, but we ain't screaming like that on this cast. It's not. I got ears, and I'd like to keep a little bit of hearing. I still got in there. So, my number 1 is Bungo Stray Dogs. It would have been in my top 5 regardless if I wouldn't have been avoiding yours and Will's list. But it was absolutely amazing. We got seasons 4 and 5 this year in 2023 complete. And man, did we eat good. I don't know if anybody did. You watch Bungo Stray Dogs, Mike?
I have not.
Not any of it, right?
No.
I watched it, but I'm not caught up.
Gotcha. Well, I won't go into spoilers because, like I said, we're getting towards the end of the year. But all I want to say is, the story was amazing. Oh my gosh! Like you're looking at this backflipping. Is this person traitor? What's going on here? Like so many different storylines going on in it at once, and the hunting dogs is what new. What starts in season 4 and what goes into season 5, and they are power users like the detective agency, only they're working for the police. Basically, they work for the governments and stuff. And yeah, man, it just wow, they're badasses, real badasses, and so it just goes. It is really insane using their contacts and when you talk about twists and turns, this show has them in just magnitudes that other shows don't. It was really amazing. Such a great story. 4 and 5 have been the best seasons out of all of them. I was really worried when I started season 4 because I was not the hugest Rampo fan. Do you know which one Rampo is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. He's like the detective of the detective agent. All right. And I wasn't real big into Rampo. And then this season started. And man, he just ran away with it. Hands down, my favorite character. I mean, I love Chuya. I love Daizo. I love him. Daizon. I'm getting their names mixed up. I'm like a letter or two off, but he's awesome. But man, you just, yeah.
Man.
So yeah,
Bungo Stray Dogs, great show, man.
Yeah,
it really
a lot
is.
of fun. A lot of fun. So go ahead with. Did you want to say anything, Mike, about that?
No, it's just one of those that I need to get onto as quick as I can. As I said, I think I've got a list of 10 so far.
He's got his work cut out for him.
Oh,
92.
And then once I'll kind of help you get caught up on that, because when we do start doing the regular shows, what I'll be doing is I'll come in and give you like a little synopsis of what's been going on in the last couple of episodes of a couple of anime each week. And you'll give me a synopsis, and we'll talk about an episode of something that you watch. Whoever's there on the show with you. That's kind of how I want to run it. And I'll switch up shows each week on, what's popular, what's been really good. Everybody goes through a lull in episodes, so but yeah, you can listen to me talk about some of them in that way. You don't have to watch them all the way through. You can just listen to me talk.
True.
I'm just playing. So what's number one, Deontay?
My number one is, of course, One Piece, the Land of Wano arc. And that rightfully earned a place of the first and greatest. Just recently won Anime of the Year. We even had major events like the debut of Gear 5 Luffy, which is tattooed on my arm, if y'all can see that. I have better photo of that in my phone, but yeah, One Piece Wano arc just concluded finally. Next episode, I believe. No, Wano's not concluded yet. This Saturday coming up is when they say their final goodbyes and then get on the boat. So after that, if guys who read the manga expect, we're getting ready to get into the Egghead arc. And a lot of crazy stuff goes down from there. And I mean like in-game crazy. Ichiro Oda went balls to the wall with the past. God, like Wano ended in the manga like chapter 1070 something, and right now we're like 1099, and it's nothing but Egghead and crazy shit going on. So hopefully the anime doesn't catch up that fast, or we'll have to get more filler. But word on the street is we might not get filler at all. So maybe they'll just pace the shows a little bit better, or pace the new episodes a little bit better. And by the time we finish Egghead, the manga will already be like 2 arcs ahead, hopefully. Wishful thinking. Man, it's so good. Kaido's down, Big Mom's down. Our boy is finally an emperor of the sea, and yeah, it is such a great show. Great animation, great fights.
Man, talking about the animation in it stepped up so much after the hack when they lost all the stuff. When they came back, it's almost like they were like, when we lost all this old animation, let's just scrap everything we did and start over with this new badass. And since that time, everything they've done has been amazing. Like every episode has been on point.
Yeah, they haven't missed yet. Even like the slower episodes, they take their time with the music. They pay these past couple episodes. They kind of pace like the wholesome moments a little bit better. You knew when they were stalling, and you knew when they were not. Like right now, it doesn't feel like they're stalling for time so that Oda can get to some more chapters out. Like right now, it's just like the perfect flow. And you get to see Tama finally enjoying food now. She can eat whatever she wants. Luffy's going around being just like this noble big brother for everybody, and it's awesome. Like Wano couldn't have ended a better way than it did.
I can't disagree with you more, man. Like it was like the manga just like put into perfect animation and a little bit added here and there. I mean, you just really couldn't have asked for a better way to end it. I do have to laugh because, like I told you and Will that one time, like we watched all these episodes of this fight in the Onigashima, and it's like 150 episodes, and it's not even 12 hours of actual time going on in that time. There's more anime time than the real time in that area. It's crazy.
There's so much stuff going on in just like 24 hours in that one universe, and it's just like, good God Almighty! Like, Luffy showed up and liberated a whole country in like a week.
It was crazy. Do you watch One Piece, Mike?
Yes, I do. Big Mom against Kid and Law, fantastic fight, amazing. Even with Luffy walking between the two Yonkos and doing the fist. Can't think of it.
The Red Hawk?
Red Rock.
Or Rock. Yeah.
Rock, yeah. I think that was the start of when the animation just took 10 steps up, and then every single fight scene after that just got better and better. There's a few parts in Gear 5 that I thought were a bit wacky, even though it's supposed to be 100% though. But yeah, top anime, can't beat it.
Yep.
Yeah.
However, was Gear 5 as big as Ultra Instinct as everyone was thinking? I don't think it was, but it's still a fantastic form, and it's just part of the lore of learning more about Joy Boy down the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
The polyglyphs, and just finding out what it means to be the Sun God Nika in the universe.
Yeah, Luffy having that potential tune power upgrade and being able to wail on emperors and navy admirals is just like, he is scary strong now. So maybe second to Ultra Instinct being debuted to the world, but there was a crazy amount of hype for Gear 5, that was for sure.
I might just be biased though, because
Kakarot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was just like my silver-haired MCs.
Gotta have them.
Got to. Man, I gotta say, guys, that was a lot of anime to go over. But that was some amazing list. There was so much good anime this year, last year as well. I mean, we are being spoiled by the anime gods.
Yeah, big time.
By the way, I'm just going to go over I told you guys I had 4 honorable mentions. There was that time I got reincarnated as a slime, Visions of Coleus, Macho, Magic, and Muscle was one of my honorable mentions. That was just an amazing show. Zom 100, they've only gotten to episode 9, and they had a production delays. They're supposed to be finishing up the last 3 episodes soon. If you haven't watched it, it's so funny. It's such a different take on zombies, and the colors and cinematography of the anime is different than anything that I've watched. Really a bright spot. I couldn't put it on the list with it only getting to 9 episodes. I'm disappointed. The production delays, I think that, it happens. People get sick, but, I would like to have seen a full anime come out, looking at other stuff. But Ragnar Crimson is another one. It's coming out right now. It's new. It's all about fighting dragons. And there's several anime out this year that are actually about people that send their consciousness into the past to teach the younger self something. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens in this. And so you got some little, wimpy kid that is past or his future self comes to the back and says, "Pick it up, boy. time to cowboy up, and turns him into a badass real quick, and it's fun. Again, not top 10 worthy, I don't think, with the other ones that are out, but definitely a lot of fun. That people want to check something out. And with that, I think we're done. We just over 3 hours, so I think my voice is done too. So
yeah, it probably would have been longer with Will. So maybe we did catch a break. I don't know. That would have been some work. With that minute, yeah, top 10 to go off of, like, whew.
Well, to be honest, there's only, looking at his, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess half his list wasn't anything that we talked about. Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King, Eminence and Shadow, which is just top notch isekai. So good. Fate, Strange Fate. We only got I think it was like an hour long special
Like
about
movie,
it.
yeah, or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we're supposed to get the whole story as a season soon. Trigun Stampede, which was the new Trigun, and
Different
the
animation.
CG animation in it. Like, I'm normally not down with CG animation, but it was so good. Like, I loved it. It reminds me of, did y'all ever watch Dragon's Lair, or not watch, play the video game Dragon's Lair? Remember
I
that
have
game?
not.
Rings a bell.
Look up, when you get off of here, look up Dragon's Lair. It's a video game, and you'll see the pictures of it. And then when you look at, like, the characters in it are kind of built like the characters in Dragon's Lair, and they kind of have the same animation look to them. It was so reminiscent of it for me. But I love the animation in Trigun Stampede. It was so good. And then the last one is Undead Unluck, a really fun show that's just taking off. I think it'll be big in the next, like at the end of the season, it'll be one a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, Will seemed to like that one too. But I need to do a little homework on that myself to see what the hype is about.
Oh,
I've seen it around, but I haven't started watching it yet.
Yeah, this weekend I'm gonna try to finish Shangri-La Frontier. I need to finish. I know. At some point, I got to do Pluto as well, and then I might go to either Eminence first, or I might just finish Doctor Stone. I'll finish Doctor Stone and then go to Eminence. I'm
that
in
might
for
be an
a
easier way to
ride.
do it, because Eminence is kind of long since it's into season 2 already.
Woo. Yeah.
Well, hey man, let's go ahead and wrap this up. You got shout outs to do. Mike, do you have anybody you want to shout out to, say hi to out there that may watch the podcast, or give anybody
I've
some
got
love?
Not really. I was the oddball in my family, so and there's not many nerds around my area. So unfortunately, I'm flying solo. That's why I met you guys.
Hey, there you go.
That's what I'm talking about. And networking at its finest.
Absolutely. Well, Deontay, I don't really have anybody to give shout outs to. Happy Thanksgiving to anybody out there. And then you go ahead, man. I know you like to give some shout outs to people.
Yeah, just real quick. I definitely want to give a shout out to Comically Inclined. Episode 11 of our main podcast is this Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Central. We'll be talking about the Marvels in depth. We'll talk about Invincible season 2 and the the low key season 2 finale as well, with Blake and Danny, who are going to be our official guests on the show now. And then next month will be the season 3 finale of Saturday Night Nerds. So everything's going to be redone. Hopefully, new theme song, new artwork for the logo, and more episodes from War, Mugiwara Mondays, Jacob's film perspectives and all that jazz. So next year is going to be a lot of fun. More special guests coming in, and Mike, you're more than welcome to come back and hop on any of these shows if you got some opinions that you want to get out.
Well, I've got a lot of opinions, and I won't stop. I won't stop. So I'll jump on, and whenever I've got spare time, be happy to join in.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, if that's all we got, then that concludes episode 1 of SNN WAR.
It was fun, guys. Have a good night, and we'll catch you next time.
Yes, sir. And you guys have an awesome Thanksgiving.